Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talking About Balls. We are live. I am joined with Kyle Price. Kyle, what's up, man? How you been?
Not much, man. It's been a while. I think it's been a month and a half since I've been on.
Take.
That's crazy. But no, things are good, man. It's just been busy. I mean, obviously, with just a lot of stuff going on in life with mostly my job, just everything I'm doing. Either when we have the Wednesday night, I'm either out late with work or I'm just getting to a hotel and just not able to get on, or just out with bosses or clients. It's been a busy couple of weeks here. So,
are you at home right now?
I am. I actually leave out early tomorrow morning. I go down to Columbus for a quick overnight, but we're moving one of my offices in Columbus, so I'm home tonight and then leave out early tomorrow morning.
Okay, I didn't recognize the background. That's why I wasn't sure.
It's my office upstairs. It's
okay.
We have upstairs, so I turn it into one of my office now that I work from home in. So
that makes sense. Yeah, I was looking and I'm like, I can't tell, is it a hotel or is it his house? Because I don't think I've ever been upstairs in your house, so I don't know what your upstairs looks like.
Yeah, no, it's my one bedroom upstairs. So.
All right. Well, we are back. We got a lot to talk about. Really quick, I want to start the show off, though, with a moment of silence. The Cleveland Guardians season is dead. After today, I'm officially calling it. They are dead and buried. We'll talk more about it later, but I just want to start that off. I was expecting them to pull out the W today with the rookie on the bump, but of course, Cade Clase comes in and in true postseason form, like Emmanuel Clase of last season, blows the game. Gives up a game-tying home run. And then the Guardians fail to score in the top of the 10th, and they go on to lose in the bottom of the 10th. And after getting swept by Atlanta, we'll get into all this, but after getting swept by Atlanta, now losing 2 out of 3 to Arizona, when everyone and their brother on sports radio said, oh, the Guardians have an easy schedule coming up. They're facing a lot of sub 500, 500-ish teams, a lot of teams that have given up on the season, and the Guardians have officially now lost 5 out of 6 of those games. The Royals have passed them in the standings. I'm not holding my breath for anything from this Guardians team. So we'll talk more about it later, but I just want to start off with a moment of silence for their season because it is dead. I am calling it now. Dead. But yeah, other than that, I'm trying to think of what I've done over the last couple of weeks. I mean, typical shit. I had a wedding on Saturday. I'm trying to go back to last weekend. Last weekend I had the memorial thing for Tara's uncle. Her family came back into town from South Carolina. So they had an official thing at a bar with friends and family and people to, talk about their history with him and blah, blah, blah. It was a good time. Really nice. It was up at Teams. I'm a big fan of that bar. So I was at Teams. They had the event. It was a few hours. Then we hung out with her family afterwards for a little bit more. But yeah, it was, other than that, pretty cool. Just been watching a lot of preseason football, watching a lot of baseball, because at the time I thought the Guardians might have had a chance to maybe sneak into the playoffs. So that's pretty much it. Did yard work that weekend as well, which sucked, and got my hot tub fixed. I think I talked about it last episode. My hot tub was acting up again. Got that taken care of the other day. It's rocking and rolling.
What was
last weekend? Basically what happened the first time, this was a few months ago, we had a power outage because there was a storm that came through. It killed the power. We didn't realize it cut off one of the breakers downstairs that wasn't labeled. So we thought we hit all the breakers to try to turn the hot tub back on. Nothing worked. So I had to call a professional. He came out. He looked. He's like, oh, no, your line is connected to this breaker. That looks like it's disconnected, but it's actually a live thing. So we were like, well, that's good to know. So he got it working again. He cleaned it up. He did all the maintenance. He checked everything. He said it looked great. Then fast forward to right before we left for our vacation, there was another storm that came through, killed the power. I didn't even think about the hot tub. It didn't click. We hadn't been using it because it's been kind of, we've been in a heat wave, truthfully, till like today. But we hadn't been using the hot tub, and I went out there one day because I was like, I'd like to get in here. I open it up. It's green. I'm like, God damn it. It must have shut off with that latest power outage. Or no, it wasn't even a storm. It was a random fucking Thursday. Tara texts me and she's like, hey, our power's out. And I was like, okay, I don't know. So I get a text from the electric company, and they're like, there's an outage in your area. It'll be restored within an hour. And that's when I didn't even think about it. I came home from work. It didn't even click that the power had been out. The hot tub had been off since then. So turned it on. I went downstairs, hit the breaker, go upstairs. I checked the hot tub, and it's flashing this code. Or no, I take that back before I even got to that point. Obviously, it was green. So I drain it. I refill it the proper way through the filter as I was instructed. I bought the water cleanser thing you attach to your hose. I did everything. I followed every fucking step. Turn on the hot tub, flashing an SN code on the screen. Like, what the fuck does that mean? So I Google it. Basically, everything on Google says you're fucked. There's a sensor issue. You need a professional to come look at it. So of course, I reach out to the dude. He comes by, and basically there was some air in one of the lines that wasn't coming out, so the jets weren't functioning properly. So it won't let the hot tub turn on because it doesn't want it to like overheat and like fuck up the motor. So he got that cleared. He took a look at everything. He gave it a full once over. He even put in like a bunch of chemicals for us to make sure we were all good to go. And then he turned the heat on, and this was on Monday. He came over. And so Monday night rolls around. Tara and I are like, hell yeah, Teddy's asleep. Let's go in the hot tub. We go out there. He set it at 104. Doesn't sound that bad. I don't like hot shit at all. It was so fucking hot. It literally was making my skin tingle. Tara's in it like practically swimming. She's like, this is amazing. This feels so nice. And I'm sitting there, no bullshit. I'm like, I barely have my lower half in the water. I'm like hovering to try to stay cool, and I am just. It's like you're in a sauna. I was soaked, my whole fucking body from the top half. Like I looked at my arms, and I even showed Tara, and I'm like, I haven't dunked my arms in the water. That's sweat. My whole body is just oozing out. I also think a lot of it had to do with we got really drunk at a wedding on Saturday night. I'm sorry, and I think I was sweating out a lot of those toxins because I had a lot of vodka in my system. I was drinking Tito's all night. And that even hit me the next day. So we went to a wedding on Saturday for Tara's cousin. And then Sunday rolls around. We get up first thing in the morning. We took the kids, Teddy, and we met with Carissa and Khan and Kira and Kaya. And we met up at the kiddie park, the Memphis kiddie park. I've never been there before. So we took Teddy. And it was really nice on Sunday. It was overcast. It wasn't too hot. All of a sudden, I'm just standing there. I'm watching Teddy on the carousel. And I'm like, oh, shit. Like, I could feel sweat dripping down the back of my head. And I'm like, why am I sweating right now? Like, there's a nice breeze. It's kind of cool. Like, it wasn't that bad out. And all of a sudden, I'm like, I'm just sweating out all the fucking booze. That's all this is right now. So I was real sweaty for about 20 minutes. I got it all out of my system, and then I was good to go. But yeah, it was rough, man. I was feeling it for a little bit. Other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it. Just been hanging out.
At least you got it fixed. I mean, that's all that matters.
Yeah, got it all taken care of. He looked at it. He said everything was good. He tested the chemicals, did the test strip, said everything's good. Our hot tub's in really good condition. So it was just a matter of we're learning. And that's what I told Tara. She's like, this guy probably thinks we're stupid. He's come out here twice and basically just had to like do easy fixes. And I was like, well, yeah, but we've never owned a hot tub before. We bought a house with a hot tub. So now all of a sudden we're learning on the fly. So it is what it is. We're learning as we go. So it's pretty cool. Other than that, yeah, I haven't done shit. Been watching TV, been watching the Drew Carey show on one of the streaming apps that it's on. Working, obviously.
What's it on? What's the
pretty much it.
I haven't watched the Drew Carey show in a while.
It's on two of them actually right now. So you can find it on the Plex app, which is free, or it's also on Pluto. Yeah, it's on both of them. I had been, this goes back to over a year ago. Before I went to Germany, actually, I found a guy's Google Drive or whatever it's called, and he had every episode basically pirated. So I was watching the Drew Carey show from the beginning, and then all of a sudden, as soon as I got back from Germany last year in the fall, they announced that it was going to Plex. So I was able to start watching it. So I watched a few. I mean, there's like fucking 300 episodes or something like that. So there's a lot to get through. So I've been slowly watching through it, and I'm officially on the final season. I've seen every episode multiple times. I love the Drew Carey show, so it's just cool to rewatch it all. So yeah, I'm officially on the final season of that. Been watching that a lot lately when Tara's not around because she doesn't like it. And then when she's home, we watch a lot of movies and TV shows. We've been watching the new Dexter, which is fantastic, by the way. If you haven't watched it, it's great.
No, I'm just getting through rewatching the original. I'm starting going through all the series again, and I'll get out the newer one. Yeah, so is it good? I think the previews I've seen, the trailers I've seen, it looks like they really knocked it out of the park.
It's excellent. Did you happen to watch the prequel, Dexter?
No.
Okay, so they did obviously they did Dexter. Then they did the Dexter show where he was with his son in New York. I forgot what that one was called. Was it? No, this one's called Dexter Resurrection. I don't remember. I can't remember. So they did the regular Dexter, then they did the revamp, if you will, which was like modern, and then they did a prequel show with all new people. And The prequel show was great. They cast that fucking perfectly. The kid that plays a young Dexter is great. They have a young Batista, young LaGuardia, young everybody, young Deb. Excellent. So watch that first. And then now they're doing the Dexter Resurrection show, which is great. I'm loving it. They premiere every Friday. I think there's like 5 or 6 episodes out. I'm not sure if there's going to be like 8 or 10.
One season with this too, like they did the other ones.
I'm guessing they're going to see how it goes because I'd have to imagine they're going to keep going. The way they're setting it up, like it's really good.
Yeah.
So spoiler alert, because it's kind of hard to avoid this. At the end of the reboot that they did, actually, you know what? I don't want to say anything in case you go back and watch it. Okay. It's not really a spoiler because obviously they made a new show, but you'll see it. Just watch them. It's great. Okay. All right. So check them out. So we've been watching that, which again, that comes out every Friday. We're all caught up on the show Wednesday. I've been watching it.
We're halfway through the season. When we get time enough to watch a show at night and I'm not falling asleep because I'm fucking tired, we'll watch an episode of it. See, it's good so far though. I'm liking it.
Which season are you on for Wednesday? Are you in the second season?
Yeah.
Oh, there's only like 4 episodes out right now.
Yeah, I think we're through. We just finished the second episode, so
okay.
Week by week. I thought they released them all at once.
Nope. They did 4 at once, and then now once you finish the 4th episode, it says new episodes coming in like September, so you have to wait a month.
So we have 2 episodes to go then. So we just finished the second one.
No rush, because again, you've got a month till they release more, so no rush.
Makes sense.
But yeah, so we watched that. We also just started Love on the Spectrum on Netflix.
Oh, that's really good. Jess loves that show.
I'd never watched it. I always wanted to. I always heard people talking about it, like on radio shows and stuff, and then you'll see social media people talking about it, and never got a chance to start it. So we watched the first season. We finished that yesterday. I'm sure we'll continue with that, but that one's been on for a while, so I'm not in a rush to get to it. But yeah, live shows though, good shit out right now. And practical. I think I talked about it last week. It's Always Sunny is doing great. South Park is doing great. New episodes of those both tonight.
I have not watched the new season of South Park yet. But I can't avoid it because every time I turn on social media, someone's bringing up a new joke that they played the night before, which is, from what I've seen, it's spot on. So
far, they've only done 2 episodes. So the season premiered almost a month ago. But what they did is they've been doing every other week. So tonight is technically only the 3rd episode of the season, but it's been out since like middle of July or something like that.
Oh, that makes sense. No, I just haven't watched yet. The first 2, the last one where I saw the previews for the trailer, not the trailer, but like the people replaying it on like TikTok of like the alien shit was just hilarious as shit. Like so many aliens in heaven, and then it cuts to a heaven scene and they're running through ice in heaven. I'm like, that's top.
Yeah, tonight's episode is Towley goes to Washington, D.C., and when he shows up, there's like tanks and stuff like that. So that's all they really showed. I don't know what it's going to be about, but like that's all I know. I can't wait. They're killing it. It's good for them. They signed that huge contract like a month ago or so for $1 billion or whatever to keep doing it. And whatever they do, it works because after every episode, there's controversy, whether you're against the stuff they're saying, for it, indifferent, it doesn't matter. Everybody's talking about it right after. So I'm looking forward to tonight's episode because they're extremely controversial.
It's been around for so long to still be that talked about, which is amazing. So
yeah, they literally just had their 30th anniversary or something like that. Like it was the 30th anniversary of the show premiering, and last week I think, and it's better than ever. Truthfully, like they're killing it. So I'm looking forward to tonight's episode. Can't wait. Yeah, I got a lot of shit coming up, though. I got this weekend. Friday night, I have nothing. Saturday, I was supposed to help Dan move. So when I went to the Hall of Fame with our friend Dan, he had mentioned that he wanted to move on this upcoming Saturday. And I was like, okay, hell yeah, let's do it.
Oh, is it this Saturday? I thought it was Sunday.
So then that's why I asked him in the text. When he sent the text, it was Sunday. So I'm like, do you mean Saturday or Sunday? And he said Sunday. And I was like, okay, because when we went to the Hall of Fame, he said Saturday. Which either one, this weekend is free, so I was okay with it. But it works out because now I have a LASIK consultation appointment coming up this Saturday to get my eyes looked at and get hopefully set up for LASIK. I don't know when I'll do it because I know you need a couple days to recover, and I would ideally like to do it on a Friday, but I don't want to do it during the football season because I don't want to not be able to watch football if I'm like blind for a couple days.
Jess was able to read stuff the next day.
Oh really?
Even that night, she was able to. she slept most of the night, right? Like they want you to, but when she opened her eyes at night to go to the bathroom, like she's like, I can see stuff already. And then the next morning she's like, oh my God, I can see across the room, which I never have done before. So yeah, it's not going to be like multiple day thing.
Okay. Well, I have horrible eyes. Like I'm practically legally blind when I take my glasses off. Like I'm not kidding you. When I lay in bed in the morning and I don't put my glasses on, Terry yells at me all the time for it. I have to put my phone like this close to my face. I'm reading my phone like this. I'm like, that's how I can see it. So I have horrible eyes, but we'll see.
Jeez.
Yeah, dude, I have terrible eyes. So yeah, I wear glasses at night and I wear contacts during the day. But so yeah, we'll get that. I got that on Saturday. Tomorrow, or I thought today was Thursday for a second.
This is in the comments right now. She said you see 100% 8 hours later. So.
Oh shit, the comments weren't popping up for me. Sorry. Hey Steve, what's going on, man? Good talking to you today. Jess says do it on a Thursday. That's a good idea. You 100% see 8 hours later. That's perfect then. So yeah, I'm excited to get that consultation done on Saturday. Friday night, I'm looking to be lazy. I'm going to go home. I bought a pizza oven, not like a regular brick oven one, but I bought one that you put on your grill that works just like a brick oven pizza.
We have one of those.
Yeah, I'm excited to try it. I got it from that bidding website that I'm obsessed with. So I won it for like $25. So we're going to probably try that out on Friday night, make some pizzas, watch Dexter. I want to watch the new Superman because Peacemaker comes out next week. And
I see how you can stream Superman now, right?
Yeah, from what I heard, they did that on purpose because there's some cameos that are going to be happening in Peacemaker that you need to see Superman for. So that's why they released it now so everyone can watch it before Peacemaker comes out, is what I was told. And
that makes sense.
I cannot wait to watch Peacemaker. I fucking love that show. So that comes out next week. I can't wait.
And tough act to follow. I'm hoping they follow up to season 1 pretty well because season 1 was epic.
It was fantastic. John Cena's so good. I think they'll do great. I think he's comfortable in his skin as Peacemaker. So I'm going to watch that Friday, and then Saturday I got the consultation. Browns play at 1:00, and that's pretty much it for Saturday. Then Sunday we're going to. I'm going to go help Dan move, and then Tara's parents invited us over. So that's pretty much it. The next weekend is a busy weekend. It's the holiday weekend. Kyle's got his beer Olympic party. We might be going to Oktoberfest.
Yeah, we're going Friday, I think, just to go up there for a little bit to have a drink or two. I don't know if anybody. I was going to put a text out to people, but since we have the party Saturday, I think we're going to go Friday night because there's some bands playing and stuff, and just watch Glockenspiel and have a drink or two, and then head home. So.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I know we're talking with people because we got a lot of stuff coming up that we need babysitters for, so we're trying to like pick and choose who can watch when. We don't want to have the same person watching her every time, so we try to switch it up. Like we were at the wedding for Tara's family on Saturday, so we had. My sister came over and watched her, and then other times we'll have her sister or her mom or whomever come over and watch Teddy. So we're trying to work through all that. I got cookouts and shit happening next weekend. The works, it never ends. And the weekend after that, football season, the moment we've all been waiting for. And hell, even next Saturday, I forgot, Ohio State, Texas plays. That's a huge game.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that. So I people were reminded, like, hey, can we come over at like noon to watch football? I'm like,
yeah, you picked a pretty busy day / weekend to have this beer Olympics.
I mean, listen, I was this close, this close to not even doing it, and part of me still like that close, being like, screw it. But I mean, because I spent the last 2 days power washing my back patio because every 2 years you have to like blow out the paver sand in between the paver stones and redo it because it can't lock that long. Weeds eventually go through it. So I spent the last 2 days like power washing the back patio, getting everything kind of blown out, and I'll resand it like this weekend. But it's a pain in the ass, man. And I'm like, I got to do some yards like landscaping, and I got to fill in a couple holes in the backyard that the dogs have kind of like dug out. I don't need people like busting their ankles in my backyard. So it's like, is it worth it?
Yeah, that's a tough call. It's a busy day. It's going to be a busy weekend. Yeah. And then the weekend after that, I'm having my cornhole party. The Brown season starts. Like, it's just one thing after another. It never ends. And the Friday before the Browns party, I got to see how far along we are in the preparedness stages because the new Conjuring movie comes out, and I fucking love those.
Yeah, we were talking about that. That looks like a great movie. I can't wait to watch that movie.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the final one of the franchise. So I am.
Did you see the trailer for the Good Boy movie?
No, not yet. I saw it. Like I saw a glimpse that it was there, but I didn't watch it.
I watched the trailer and I'm like, nope, because if the dog dies, I will riot and I will punch somebody. But it looks like it's interesting. Like the dog can see the ghost or the people, but like tries to keep warn the owner. So basically, the point of view of the dog of what they can see, because you always they hear the rumors of animals can see like ghosts and shit like that. So that's what it's about. I'm like, nope. I heard whining out of a dog during the trailer. I'm like, nope, not gonna watch this movie. Can't do it.
Yeah, that's interesting. I got to see it. Like I said, I saw a glimpse, but I didn't actually watch it. So I will. I'm sure I'll eventually see it. But yeah, a lot of good movies coming out. That's pretty much it, man. You got a baby. I'm just stuck at home. I go out whenever I can, but it's not often. And if I do, it's early. And then with work, I mean, I've just been busy with work, normal shit, nothing crazy like you, no traveling or anything like that. But work can still get tiring, and you come home and you just want to chill. So that's it. That's pretty much life lately.
Yeah, I hear that, man. I mean, I can't even go through the stuff that I've done since we've last talked, but it's just been mostly work. I mean, Fridays we go up and do our typical night at game day, have dinner up there, have a drink, see people and whatnot. But I mean, I think since then, have we talked since Jess and I went to Geneva on the Lake? Did we? I don't know if we have.
I mean,
that was last month.
I'm sure we did.
I think we have, yeah. But I mean, that's how my memory is right now.
Yes, but, especially doing the every other week, my weeks just blend together. So that's why I'm like, what the hell did I do the week before? And then I'm like, oh, I actually had a pretty busy weekend, but I don't know, none of it retains. Yeah, and then
it's one of those things where I just don't remember any. I mean, we do we do some stuff when we have the time, but mostly, like you said, at the end of the day, you're like, all right, what's on TV? Let's relax. Let's do this, that, and stuff. And we have our weekends planned. Like every weekend, we have stuff coming up. Like this weekend, there's karaoke night that we're going to because it's Taylor Swift themed, of course. What was that?
Naturally.
But I have golf in the morning on Saturday, and for MGA, we're playing at I don't know. It's in Willoughby, so a good hour drive to that, right?
Yeah.
Sunday,
I couldn't tell you what's out there.
Sunday, Dan moving, and then Sunday afternoon, probably nothing, thankfully, which is great. Probably just getting the house cleaned and everything for next weekend, but. No, the last couple of weekends has been golf if I can, and then the rest of the time really just being at home, and that's fine. It is what it is. Save money that way if you're not doing anything.
Yeah, I mean, I'm personally I'm looking forward to the new Call of Duty coming out in a couple of months, and then I can just sit at home. There's Battlefield coming out, and
yeah, the Battlefield game looks interesting. A couple of my friends,
it looks good.
Have played.
Yeah, they had the beta.
It feels better. It feels better than Call of Duty does, what they did with it. So I might have to get into it and see. I've been playing a game online called Dune. I think I talked to you about it before, but
yeah, you did.
I've been playing that. I mean, Jesus, I think just as of today, I think I have 260 hours put into it. So,
not bad. I mean,
I don't leave the house.
my buddy, Big Joe, my buddy at work, he and I talk about that all the time. We're like, yeah, I like when games come out in the fall because then you can the weather's shitty. You're not going anywhere. You just sit at home and play video games. It saves you so much money. And I'm like, yeah, it's actually a really good point. So that'll be exciting. New Call of Duty, new Battlefield. Speaking of video games, have you talked to Dave, a.k.a. producer Sean,
I talk
recently?
To Dave every once in a while. I shot him a text message last week or 2 weeks ago asking if he wanted to jump on and play that game because he's the one that brought me to the game. He invited me to that game originally, so I got hooked on it. So I'm like, and he stopped playing. I'm like, what are you up to? He's like, man, I'm so busy with work. He goes, I'm actually working in a warehouse right now for inventory and stuff. So I mean, that's the last I talked to him. It's probably a week ago.
Oh, Dave's working in a warehouse now?
No. He works still for his company, but I think he was doing some kind of inventory software. But he had to he had to be in the warehouse to test it to make sure it was working correctly. Which
I was going to say, he doesn't strike me as a manual labor kind of guy, so that's why I was like, wait a minute, what?
He was sweating at the thought of actually picking something up off the ground, I'm sure. So
we talk fairly regularly, but I want to say, is it last week or the week before? I got an email because I signed up long story short, one of our favorite bands, Every Time I Die. They broke up years ago. They've all gone their separate ways. More than half the band has started a new band with a different lead singer. The lead singer started a new band with other people because they all hate each other. And the one guitar player is just a full-time AEW wrestler now, Andy Williams. He's not in either band. But anyway, so the band with the lead singer personally is my favorite of the ones that branched off. And I got an exclusive first look at a new single they have coming out. And they were super adamant in the email. They're like, do not share this with anybody. This link is just for you, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, fuck, cool. So I listened to the song, loved it. Of course, I broke that. I copied the link and I sent it to Dave because I was like, you got to hear this. And nothing. Didn't respond. So I think the next night, yeah, it was last Friday, not like almost a week ago, the week before. So right after we recorded, I got it. And the next night, I text him again. I'm like, thoughts? Nothing. He hasn't responded to it. So I don't know if you ever listened to it. I would have loved to have heard it, but they have now since, like, it was just a trial for people to hear it for like a week or two. So the link no longer works. But I wanted Dave to hear the new Many Eyes song, so I hope he got to listen to it.
I mean, it's funny because now with the iPhone update, I can see when Android users read my messages.
Oh, he read it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So it's like, listen, fucker, I know you read my messages.
He 100% saw it. That's why I wanted to joke with him and be like, you liked it so much, you're speechless. But I was like, man, if he's not responding to the other two, I'm not going to keep pushing it. So...
I mean, when I talked to him the one time when we played the game for a couple hours, I mean, I asked for life updates and really just the same old. Like, he's working all the time.
Yeah, he seems good. Like I said, we talk regularly. It was just
he was planning on getting another dog and stuff, and he's like, no, not really. And so I'm like, you need a friend, man. You need someone in your life to kind of like, you know. So I
invited him to the cornhole party. Like, I'm trying. See if he can get out of the house. He's always welcome.
Did you send him a letter in the mail or something, or stop by with the post?
Yeah, it was a carrier pigeon. I think it got there. I sent a raven to give him the message.
Was it a garden gnome you sent on its way and had the garden gnome deliver the message? That'd be even better.
Yeah, I bought him a garden gnome that's holding a scroll, and on the scroll it's an invitation.
Will you come to my party? Please circle yes or no and send back to sender. Thank you.
Yeah, I think he just kept the gnome because he hasn't RSVP'd. So he hasn't said anything. I'm not going to hold my breath that he's coming. I would love it, but
with him, no news is good news, I think.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was funny because we were talking regularly. Basically, that band that I was talking about, they did a special thing on their website or on their Instagram or whatever, and they were like, they had different tiers, and they're like, if you donate money, it goes towards our new record. They're working on a new record, and obviously, indie bands don't have a ton of money. They're not on like a big label or anything like that, so they pretty much have to do it all themselves. So he's like, or the band was like, you have all these different tiers. If you want to do it, do this, do that. So the one tier was $25. It's going to get you your name in the notes on like the album for like a special thank you. It's going to get you, they said, a couple items of merchandise. So I'll get a couple t-shirts probably. And it got me the exclusive first listen of the song. So I sent that to Dave first. And I was like, hey, they're offering this thing if you want to donate. And he was like, said something about he was going to think about it. And he's like, that's not a bad deal if you get 2 shirts and, music for $25. I was like, no, it's not a bad deal at all. And I was like, after shipping, it ended up being like $30. So I was like, I did it. Like I paid the $30 and went ahead with it. And then a couple days later, that's when I got that email with the new song. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'm sending this to Dave because I don't think he did the $30 thing. And then, yeah, he just didn't answer. So, yeah. Left him speechless. That's how I look at it. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it, man. Life is normal. I saw George there, said he had an Ohio fantasy draft last Friday. This weekend, headed to Michigan. 'Tis the season. I have 2 fantasy drafts coming up. I have one next Tuesday, and then I have one next Sunday. So got all that going on. It's fantasy football time.
I've got one tomorrow, I think, or Friday. No, Friday. And then I've got one next Sunday, the 31st. Not next Sunday, the 31st, which is my draft. And then another one next Tuesday, I think. I don't know. I think it's Chippers. I don't know, man. I forget. I look at reminder, your draft starts in an hour is pretty much what I'll look for, basically. So.
Yeah, I'm only in 2 leagues this year, and both of the drafts, thank God, are different times. I had 1 year, a couple years ago, where both drafts were on the same time. That was fucking miserable. 2 very different leagues. One's PPR, one's non-PPR. One has just pick a team defense. The other one has defensive players. And I'm literally trying to fucking look at 2 different screens and pick 2 different teams. I think both teams sucked that year. Not a good time.
I remember one year I drafted my team while at Oktoberfest because I forgot it was that night. And I happened to be like standing out, like watching, them throw beads. And it's like, your draft starts in 1 hour. I'm like, fuck. So
that's not good.
Like, what I do, I did like ranking my players in case like I got disconnected. So I drafted the first like 6 rounds, and then it auto draft the rest. But then I ended up making it to the Super Bowl that year, and I didn't win. But I mean, hell, I mean that's what sometimes it's just pure luck, right? You get drafted, and
Yeah.
players win.
Dude, it's all luck. I don't care how much research a guy does. You cannot predict if a dude's going to get like significant playing time, going to score touchdowns, going to get hurt, whatever. It is all fucking luck. You can pick a handful of guys that are pretty good, but same thing. You don't know how they're going to do. Last year's draft for my one league sucked because I had we were moving that weekend, so I had to do the draft. And I remember I was sitting out in my backyard at my old house on the patio, and I have a huge fire going because I'm trying to burn a bunch of shit that I don't want to take with me. And I'm like, well, I can't throw this wood out because we have to be out of the house in like a couple days. So I'm like, I have to just fucking burn it all. So I literally have this huge fire going in the backyard, and I'm trying to like, I'm not kidding you, I didn't cut any of the wood up. So I have huge pieces of wood just on fire that I had to just keep watching because I'm like, all right, well, when that burns through the middle and breaks off, I'm going to have to grab it and throw it on there before I like set something on fire. What's up, Robert?
What's up, Robert?
Pleasure. Nice to see you. It's been a while. I thought Ice got you for a little bit. I haven't talked to you. I've seen you on the show for a little bit. Happy to have you back. But yeah, last year that team sucked. I drafted while I was outside, packing and moving, and it was just too stressful. Vampire Fantasy Football League?
Nope.
As in, like, you draft Blade number 1 overall, like vampires?
I mean, I think the draft's over at that point.
Yeah, I feel like you win. There's no one from Twilight's going to beat Blade. Maybe Dracula, Nosferatu. You could get one of those guys. They might give him a run for his money.
Ooh, could you imagine a Blade versus Nosferatu one-on-one?
I'd pay to watch that.
He just waits the daytime and crack open that casket. So
Blade's a day walker. That's it. One doesn't draft, and a guy takes all the leftover players at the end of the draft.
Actually, that's hilarious.
That would fucking suck though to have that team.
Funny is like that's the punishment for winning, like a reverse league. Like if you won one year and then suddenly now since you won, you can't draft the following year, and you have to get all the remaining players.
Each week he loses, he steals a player from the opponent's roster. Well, the worry with that is like by the time you can actually build a decent team, it's like week 6 or 7 and your season's already fucked. Yeah. That's a good idea though. It's funny. That would be a good punishment for somebody. My one league, we do it like the NFL. You can tank and you can get the number 1 pick next year, or if you win, you get wherever you finished the season before. And then my other league is random every time. So every year they do a blind draw. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Fantasy football is always a good time if your teams are good, and it's especially needed if you're a Browns fan.
Speaking of betting in fantasy, I haven't placed one bet on anything in about 5 weeks, 6 weeks. It's weird. Like I was looking at I'm starting to get these emails now. It's like, we miss you, come back.
Yeah.
And I was like, I looked at my apps I use. I'm like, wow, I haven't placed a bet since like beginning of June, maybe the second week in June. I was like, that's crazy. I hate betting baseball. Like I hate betting baseball. I think I was betting basketball, and that's pretty much it. And I stopped doing that halfway through the playoffs. I'll pick back up in football regular season, but I know friends of mine who are betting in preseason. I'm like, come on. Like, really?
No, I won't touch preseason. That's absurd. Yeah. And I'm with you. Baseball betting has been really weird this year because, oh shit, hang on. Steve says this year we're timing beer chugs. The beers are picked blind and can range from 10 to 12% down to a cider. Steve's losing that one. No offense. I don't think he got the muscles in the jaws to chug a drink fast. Can you hire that dude that does the garage beers? I don't know his name. I forgot his name, but I'm sure you've seen the video. The guy that like basically takes a sip and it's a whole beer. You could rent him out.
That back gullet and it just slides down.
Steve needs a medic. Nah, Steve will be fine. Got Seager, Ohtani, Judge, 3-leg home run parlay. How much, Robert? Because we appreciate your donation. That's not going to happen.
$1.
Yeah, I haven't been betting on baseball either because I feel like the odds have gotten really funky to the point of like a guy getting a hit. Like getting a hit in baseball is hard. If a guy goes like 1 for 4, that's still not bad. That's around average for what a baseball player hits in Major League Baseball. And like a guy like Steven Kwan, him to get 1 hit in a game will be like minus 400. Like there's no value in betting on that. There's literally nothing.
Damn. So you know that judge that's on YouTube, that Goodwill judge out in like Vermont or whatever, that always like gives people like a second chance. You ever seen those videos?
No.
Capiro guy. He died. It sucks. 88 years old. But so he's on YouTube. Like people come through his courtroom all the time. And they're like, Judge, I don't have the money, I can't pay this, blah blah blah, and like he instead of like slapping on like what should be an actual like fine or something, he like waives it, gives people second chances, and like talks them through it. He's a really good judge. Well, sorry, was a really good judge. So, yeah.
Well, if we learned anything, that's God doesn't give you second chances apparently, because he is dead. No, I don't think I've ever heard of him. Maybe I've seen a video like in passing, but I didn't like pay attention to the name or anything like that.
I don't know if you can see images through this, but
it kind of looks like Larry King and Judge Judy had an old baby together. But I mean, at the end of the day, he's 88, so there's really not much else to do in life other than end it. So kudos to him for a good run.
Well,
only God can judge him now. So good Godspeed, Mr.
I hope when you retire, you
Caprio. I will. I'd be happy to do it. I'd love to write eulogies for people,
especially people you don't know.
Those are the best because I have no feeling towards it. Like, I don't know, I'll just say whatever. But yeah, so I haven't really been betting on baseball a ton lately, and I will absolutely no chance will I bet on preseason football. That's absurd. But speaking of preseason football, talk about a segue. The Browns have played 2 games. Both games have featured their rookie quarterbacks, and both of them have looked good. I have thoughts. So before I say anything, I don't want to influence anybody or be influenced. So I have my thoughts locked in my head. I've texted my thoughts to people many times. Give me your thoughts, Kyle, on let's just start with the quarterback debate. Then we'll talk about the team as a whole. Actually, you know what? Let's do opposite. Let's do the team as a whole. What have you seen in both games? What do you like? What do you don't like? And then we'll talk specifically about the 2 rookie quarterbacks.
So it's hard to say exactly what you see because we're not seeing the whole picture, right? We're not seeing everything together. There's players who aren't playing that are going to be crucial parts of this offense and defense, right? But what I have seen is that it's going to be a rough year, right? I don't know. I like the effort, and I hate we're talking effort, but I like the effort I see out of some players. I don't see it. There's something that's missing, and I don't know what it is, and it might be the players who aren't playing, but I don't know, man. The defense looks sloppy. Offensive schemes, the offensive line looks sloppy. The receivers don't look clean out of the gate. The routes don't look smooth. Like I don't know. And again, it's preseason. Some of that stuff's going to get cleaned up. But here's the thing. It's what I expected, right? It's kind of what I expected going into this year anyways. As far as the quarterbacks go, it's kind of what I expected. Gabriel's a quarterback. He's got a good arm on him. He's going to have faults. He can't see over the line. He has to roll out a lot. A lot of his offensive plays, he had to roll out left to see the line. It's that same old adage we've had before with short quarterbacks, right? Shedeur was what we thought he would be, right? He is a pocket passer. He's got good accuracy sometimes. Some of those passes were a little, he doesn't have the soft touch like he should, right? Some of those were a little floated him out there too long. He got bailed out by the one receiver who put his arm out to God and somehow grabbed that one.
Got that one-handed catch and then pulled his hamstring and got released.
Right, but for the most part, he looks like he's someone who I think behind the right quarterback can go into something. I think he's the better of the 2. If I had to pick between the 2, he's not a 5th or 6th. He's not a 5th round pick by any means, right? So I think that it's unfortunate, but I'm not surprised. I guess I'll just boil it down to that. I'm not surprised.
So I will pick up a little bit where Robert started. I love the defense, the defensive line especially. I feel like we have the most depth we've ever had. I feel like that's going to be a game changer for Myles Garrett, truthfully, because he's never had this much help on the defensive line. So I love that. Defensively, I like the linebackers also. I like Carson Schlesinger in the little bit of time that he played against Carolina. I feel like he was only in the game for like 10 snaps, and I think he had like 4 or 5 tackles.
First quarter, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he played very seldom, and he made an impact on the game instantly. And from what I've heard about the kid, pre-draft scouting, stuff like that, that's exactly who he is. He is just he's a dude who worked his ass off to become a starter in college, and he just has a nose for the football. And I really like that. Defense, secondary-wise, I'm still a little hesitant because losing Martin Emerson was huge. I feel like the depth behind there. I obviously love Denzel Ward, who's already hurt.
Yep.
He's battling with a day-to-day shoulder injury, and we don't have a lot of depth at corner, so that's what really scares me. But this defense is going to be exclusively it's only going to be as good as our defensive line lets it be. And that is because the Jim Schwartz defense is don't blitz a ton. You let your 4 guys get to the quarterback and cause a ruckus in the backfield. And if they can do that with Graham, with Myles Garrett, with the plethora of other people we have to play the opposite defensive end, because we have a lot of guys, I think they'll be really good. I think the defense is going to be the star of this team offensively. As you said, it's really hard to get a good read. The one thing I like offensively, it looks a little cleaner. It looks like they're better at pre-snap. There's not a lot of penalties, which again, most of these guys that have been playing are not starters. But I've heard from every player for the most part that one of the biggest emphasis the coaches are putting on this year is the pre-snap penalties. That's something that they are drilling into their brain is to stop that.
We lead the league last year in that, or
we led the league in pre-snap penalties, and we led the league in turnovers. And those are the 2 biggest things that Kevin Stefanski said that they're working on. He said we are going to try to eliminate the pre-snap penalties, and we cannot have turnovers. That's the biggest thing. Harold Fannin has been a stud in camp. I'm looking forward to seeing him in live action. I'm looking forward to seeing Jerry Jeudy with Joe Flacco. I think that'll be fun because Joe Flacco, of course, was named the starter. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, as far as the rookie quarterbacks go, I was very critical of both, and I will stick to that. In my opinion, Dillon Gabriel looks a little bit more pro-ready. He looks like he was rightfully so drafted over Shedeur, in my opinion. Sanders, when he played his first few drives, they were against the ones of Carolina. Carolina played a lot of starters. Sanders we didn't move the ball that well. He looked okay. A lot of people were like, oh, he's just got nerves. He had to shake off the nerves. Then when they benched everybody, he looked really good. The ball moved fine. So when he was playing against the second and third string, the ball moved very well, which is expected. A couple of his throws, even a couple, one of the touchdowns that he threw was some very dangerous throws. He put balls in between 2 defenders, and I feel like against ones, those are picked. You're not getting those through those guys. I like his confidence, though. There's really not a throw he's afraid to make. So I do like that. But I do agree with the current stance of him still being on the bottom of the depth chart. And I understand he had the turnovers, Robert. We'll get to that. But yeah, Sanders didn't have any turnovers. He had some questionable passes. But again, I feel like he looks like a kid you can work on. But I don't think he looks pro-ready by any stretch. I think he needs a lot of time to sit. And that's exactly what they plan on doing. And I'm okay with that.
You think they're going to keep both these guys on this team?
Yeah, so my thought would be they're keeping 3 at minimum.
Well, Pickett's for sure.
Well, the Pickett situation, from what I'm hearing, is that they want to trade him, but obviously he needs to.
Not playing this weekend, so I hope they're going to do it before that.
I think that's why they're doing that, is because they're going to stash him on the IR with his hamstring injury, so they can keep him on the roster till a team's quarterback gets hurt. They come calling for Kenny Pickett, and the Browns say, "Here you go." So I think they're going to try to stash him on the IR. In my opinion, gun to my head, that's what I would say. Otherwise, I think Kenny Pickett is the odd man out for sure. He's barely played all preseason. They're not going to dump their investments that they put into Gabriel and Shedeur, no question. So those guys are a lock, and they named Joe Flacco the starter. So I feel like that Kenny Pickett is clearly the odd man out. It's just a matter of, do they keep him on the roster, or do they cut him, or can they trade him? They're going to try to do it. So Gabriel did have the 2 turnovers. The one, on a handoff, you never know who to blame on that, because your running back's supposed to just catch, it's his job to grab the ball, but obviously he's looking ahead. I don't know whose fault that was. Was it Pierre Strong, or was it Dillon Gabriel's fault? We'll never know. The other interception, though, that was a tricky one, because clearly somebody either ran the wrong route or somebody was pushed off the line of scrimmage into the wrong position. So that play should have, don't get me wrong, a veteran quarterback throws that ball in the dirt and you live for the next play. Dillon Gabriel's out there trying to make plays, tried to force a ball, which, again, everybody and their brother saw the play. If the tight end, I forgot which tight end it was at the time out there, if the tight end would have stuck his arm out, probably would have at least gotten a hand on the ball. He didn't know the ball was coming to him, though, because, again, it was a blown-up confusion play. So nobody even attempted to touch the ball. It got pick-sixed. It happens. So that was a play that, of course, he'd want back. Again, it wasn't a great play, but it was a busted play that he tried to just force something, and that's something you learn as you get older. I don't think it was a bad play. It's not like he threw the ball into, like, a mile away from a guy, and you're like, what the fuck was he looking at? This was like, hey, I got 2 guys within a couple yards of each other. I'm going to throw it at the one. let's see what he does. And nobody put their arms up. So it happens. Same thing though as Shedeur. He made a lot of rookie mistakes. Exhibit A. Do you think they keep the Marshall kid at running back? Yeah, probably, because Judkins, although we'll get to the Judkins situation here in a minute, Judkins is he's not even signed yet, and we play our first game in 2 weeks. So he's got a lot of catching up to do. He's got to get with the team. He has to practice. He has to, do everything he needs to do.
The Browns are playing it smart right now. I think they're just waiting to see what the hell the NFL does, and I don't think the NFL is going to do anything until he signs a contract. So it's like who gives in first here, Yeah,
because the Browns own his rights essentially, so the Browns can wait as long as they want. The only thing though is they need to figure out with the NFL that get him under contract, because if God forbid they do still suspend him, which call me crazy, they shouldn't, him or Isaiah Bond, because both guys have no charges.
Yeah, I agree. But if they treat both those situations differently, it's going to be interesting. They should treat them the same and do nothing, right? But if they do something and they treat one differently than the other, then that's going to raise some fucking issue.
Yeah. In my opinion, I'm not just saying this because I'm a Browns fan, but neither guy should be suspended. They were both cleared of everything. So they were wrongfully accused, essentially.
Well, they weren't cleared. The one is they had enough evidence to move forward, right? And the other one, I think they weren't going to press any charges. So, both were basically, we don't have enough evidence to do anything. It just almost sounds like a fucking Watson situation. We don't have enough evidence to do anything criminally, but here's where we're at with it, right? And go from there, right? So it's going to be a weird situation. I hope nothing happens, because those two right there, those two specifically, are huge pieces of this offense if we can get them going, especially Bond. What a steal that is. If he plays, not to jump ahead, I know you're going to get to it.
No, you're good. Yeah, no, we'll get into all that in just a second, but as of right now, though, Robert, I do think they will keep Marshall, because I think it's going to be Jerome Ford, Samson, Marshall will be your three running backs. I don't think Pierre Strong team.
The Samson thing too. I really do.
Yeah, I love what the Browns are doing. The Browns are going back to the old school Kevin Stefanski offense, and a lot of people don't want to admit that. We are going to run the ball a ton. We're going to throw to the tight ends. We're going to play. We're not going to have a big spread offense. We're going to play tough AFC North football. The goal is to stop the other team on defense, and then on offense, control the clock. A lot of ground and pound. So I'm excited to see that. It might not be the prettiest football we've ever seen, but if they can figure out some things, we might have a surprisingly fun year. But we'll see. But as far as the rookie quarterbacks go, the one thing that's driving me insane are the people that are split, that are trying to pick one over the other, that basically want one to fail and one to succeed. I'm a Browns fan. I hope both of these guys are really good. That's a great problem to have. From what I saw, both clearly need some work. Both are not ready to play opening week. And I like their future, though, if that makes sense. I think they can be coached up really well. And I think the future is bright for both of them. But yeah, the fans that are like basically trying to shit on Gabriel, like immediately, they're like, "Oh, he threw an interception. Sanders is better." Like that is nothing.
I'm not shitting on either one of them. I think that I prefer Sanders a little bit over Gabriel, because I think I like the take the chance kind of mentality, right? Like I like I'm just gonna take the chance and put it up there. And some of the best quarterbacks of all time were that kind of quarterback, right? And I'm just tired. I guess my whole thing to Gabriel is nothing he can do. He's going to be probably in a better position because of whatever reason. He's probably better skilled than Sanders is, right, overall. But, I just don't – I'm over the short quarterback syndrome that we've always had in Cleveland, right?
Yeah, if Gabriel were – the thing with Gabriel is if he were about 3 inches taller, he'd have been the number one pick of the draft, not even debatable.
But that 3 inches makes a difference.
Skill-wise, it's there, but the Browns are looking at it and going, Russell Wilson, Drew Brees, they're short.
When your line stands up at full extension, they stand up. You cannot see over that line.
Yeah, his line at Oregon, though, I looked it up after they drafted him because people were saying the same thing. His average offensive lineman height was like 6'6", 6'7". Mm-hmm. So this is nothing new in the NFL. He's been playing with taller people on the line his whole career. He can. I'm sure you watched the game. He made some really great passes, like on that first drive in general.
I watched it, but I was at the bar, so let me just go with quote unquote.
So on his very first drive, we had a third down play. He threw the ball, lobbed it over the defender. Like literally one of the best passes I've seen. That's right there. When I saw that, I was like, okay, that's a throw I don't think Shedeur can make. Gabriel can make better throws, so that's why I think 1, 2, 3. It's Flacco, Gabriel, Sanders. Another thing, Gabriel, I think no questions asked in 10 plus years, depending on how his career goes, Dillon Gabriel will be a head coach or offensive coordinator or coach of some sort in the NFL. That's another reason why the Browns drafted him. They said he blew them away in the team, in the meeting with the players. Dillon Gabriel was out there like dissecting plays, doing everything. They were like, holy shit, this kid's smart as fuck, and he's talented. So that's why they really fell in love with him. And that's another thing that I need Browns fans to kind of understand. And I've had this argument with my buddy for a while he thinks he's a tinfoil kind of guy, tinfoil hat kind of guy. He says that the Shedeur thing was a conspiracy, that the NFL told the Browns in advance, you're going to be able to get him in the 5th round. We want you to draft him in the 5th round because we want you guys to have a star quarterback for your new stadium in 5 years. And I said, why the fuck would they tell him to take him in the 5th round then? Why not just take him at 2? And he's like, well, it's because it's like the WWE. It's all planned out. They told them to do this, and they're like, they want the Browns to find their quarterback later because they got screwed with the Deshaun Watson trade. And I'm like, again, why wouldn't they just take him at 2 then if they think he's a franchise quarterback? And he never gives me an answer. He can't explain that.
Why don't we have Watson on this photo of the quarterbacks? He's technically on this team.
He's on the IR. We'll put him up when it gets halfway through the season, when he gets healthy.
Man, he's running already. He's ready to come back.
He's going to try, and they're going to quickly say, no, that injury, he has a setback, so we won't be seeing him for a while.
Freak accident in car outside of Brown's facility.
He trained too hard, and it re-aggravated the injury. But yeah, the thing with Sanders that I keep trying to tell people, and again, I'm not trying to knock Sanders. I'm a Browns fan. If you're on the Browns, I'm rooting for you.
Not about this kid either. I mean, the fact that
any of them.
Other than he didn't sign that one kid's autograph for the one game, I guess that's the only negative thing I've heard. But that's it.
Which I didn't even hear that. Which one?
So I guess they had it in a video. He's walking up before the preseason, his first preseason game. I guess the kid walked up and was like, "Can you sign this?" And he's like, "No, I don't sign before any games." And he walked away from the kid. And everyone's like, "Oh, that was so bad." Like, why? He doesn't have. No,
that's fair.
Anything. It's fair. Like,
so I don't remember. I don't remember if I told this story on the last episode. I might have. I'm sorry if I did. But when I was at the Hall of Fame with Dan, Sterling Sharp obviously got inducted into the Hall of Fame that weekend. And Sterling Sharp had one of the greatest lines I've ever heard a pro athlete tell fans. So he came walking out of the front door of the Hall of Fame in the middle of the crowd. He was letting people come up to him, and they're all hugging him and taking pictures with him and shit. And then a bunch of people ran up, and they're like, "Hey, can you sign this? Can you sign this? Can you sign this?" He's like, "No." And everyone's kind of laughing, thinking he's joking. He's like, "No." He goes, "This is my weekend. I got inducted into the Hall of Fame." He goes, "Why would I do anything extra? This weekend is about me." He goes, "Next weekend when I come back, or next year when I come back, I'll sign." He goes, "But this is my weekend." He's like, "I'm not signing shit." And I was like, that actually is a really good point. Like, this is one of the best moments of his career, of his life. He's getting inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And then these eBay hounds are just like, "Can you sign my helmet? Can you sign this?" He's like, "Nope." He's got a fucking beer in one hand, a big cigar in the other. And he's like, "I'm not signing shit." He's like, "I'll stand here. I'll take pictures. I'll talk to you guys." He goes, "But I'm not signing anything." He goes, "When you get home from," he told it because there were some little kids. He's like, "When you get home from school," he goes, "do you want to enjoy yourself or do you just want to do more school?" And they're like, "Well, I want to enjoy myself." And he goes, "I want to enjoy myself. This is my weekend." And I was like, shit, I like that. He was really He was super nice about it. Like, he wasn't being a dick or anything, but I agreed with him completely. I'm like, this is his greatest weekend ever. There's pictures of him everywhere. People are there to celebrate, friends, family. And then these guys are like, "Sign my helmet." And he's like, "No." And I was like, I respect that. Same thing with Shedeur. Well, the dude's about to start his first NFL game, albeit preseason. He doesn't want to sign. Let him be in the moment. I totally respect that. After the game, maybe you can ask him, but not before. Right. Sure. But the one thing I was gonna get to was, Browns fans need to come to the realization that Shedeur Sanders was not part of their plan. They drafted Dillon Gabriel with the intention of Gabriel being on this team for the future. Not necessarily the franchise quarterback, but they want him on this team, whether that's just to be our backup quarterback for the next decade or whatever. They like Dillon Gabriel specifically. Shedeur Sanders fell into their lap. They took him because they're like, well, shit, here he is. That's why they're in this QB limbo. They had every intention of going into the season with Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dillon Gabriel. That's it. Shedeur Sanders fell to him. They took him because it was great value. Here's a kid who I had as a second-round pick personally, or day 2 pick at least. Everyone and their brother had him going number 2 overall, or at least first round. 5th round, you're able to get this kid who, for the most part, has 0 negative red flags. It's not like he got accused of something or anything happened. He fell because maybe it was because of his dad's name. I don't know. We'll never know the true reason why Shedeur Sanders fell. It could just be because people saw his talent and said, he's not good enough to deal with the media. That's kind of what I think happened. So I feel like that's something the Browns were like, all right, we can't pass on him again. We'll take him here because, again, it's great value. So they took him, but then they kind of had to alter their thought process because Gabriel was here. He was a planned guy. Sanders was here because he was available. Browns fans don't want to hear that. They're like, Shedeur should be starting. He should do this. The Browns are not going to force Sanders onto everybody when they didn't even want him technically going into the draft. So that's something Browns fans kind of need to come to terms with, because every fucking day.
How much of a benefit is it to learn behind Flacco, as long as he stays healthy this year, to learn behind a really good quarterback for the year, right? And then you gain all that knowledge, you get the reps in practice, you get to pick his brain, you get to watch, video. And
Joe Flacco's likely going to the Hall of Fame, and you get to sit behind him and just watch.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And pick his brain, and that's great. So that's one thing I feel like, because I know I get shit for it every time I admit it, but I listen to the Tony Rizzo, a really big show. I listen to it every day for the most part.
It's like you like self-torture, I think.
I've told the story. I was a huge fan of the show back in the day, before 92.3 The Fan even existed. That was the only Cleveland sports radio, really. So I listened to it. I kind of became like...
Sky Moore just got traded.
Who did? Sky Moore? No shit.
To the 49ers.
Interesting move. Okay, well, he was kind of a bust for Kansas City. So I kind of became not like a... I don't want to say I was like a whack packer from Howard Stern, but I became like a regular caller for Rizzo, and I would like get into arguments and shit and like fuck around with people for fun. And then I stopped listening for I'm not kidding you, like years, like probably 5 years. I didn't listen to the show at all. And then I kind of started getting back into it recently. And now I pretty much listen every day because it's good sports talk. And I really don't like Baskin and Phelps. If I'm being honest, I'll listen to Ken Carman and Anthony Lima, but I don't really like Baskin and Phelps. So at that time slot, there's really nothing else to listen to here. And I pretty much only listen to talk radio. So I go to Rizzo. But every fucking day, all he talks about is how Sanders should be starting from day one. He's like, and today, this is where it got even crazier. Today, he started the show off by going, or he mentioned in the show, Shedeur should be starting because look at teams have to take chances on the rookie quarterbacks. Look at Cam Ward. He's starting from day one. And then he said, look at Jaden Daniels. Were they afraid to start him from day one? And it's like, dude, Jaden Daniels was the number 2 overall pick. Cam Ward was the number 1 overall pick. You're comparing a 5th round quarterback to those guys. Is Will Howard getting the start in Pittsburgh? Are people calling and saying that he should be starting? Are people saying, give Kyle McCord a chance in Philly? No one's doing that because this is a day 3 draft pick. You don't just throw him to the fucking Wolves. And the other thing too, I'm not claiming by any stretch the Browns can be a playoff team this year, or the Browns will be a playoff team this year. But you don't start your season off kind of going, fuck it, let's see what happens. You start off with the intentions of winning, and that's why Joe Flacco is starting your season for you, because if Joe Flacco can play really well and not turn the football over, this team can win some football games, truly. So I kind of feel like that's their plan. If you put Sanders out there, you're not ready to win. Same thing goes for Gabriel. I don't want to sound like I'm just knocking Sanders. If you put Gabriel out there day one, you're giving up on the season, essentially. I don't think Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders will be able to lead this team to many victories if you put them out there week 1 against Cincinnati. Joe Flacco, much better odds. So everything they're doing makes total sense to me. I love the depth chart. I love the way they're doing this with the quarterbacks. We'll see what happens. But as of right now, I'm impressed with what I've seen from the team, especially defensively, as I mentioned. I think the defense is going to be the strong suit of this team, and I'm looking forward to the Bengals game in a couple of weeks.
The quarterback, because if they get the ball in the air, we're not going to have anybody to bring it down. So I'm hoping that.
And the Bengals' offensive line is garbage. It is trash. They are being.
Why did you have Flacco? Not Flacco, but Burrow out there playing how you did, and that guy got bombarded. Like, why would you risk your franchise? Yeah,
here's a guy who, since your Super Bowl appearance like 3 years ago or whatever, hasn't been able to finish a season without getting hurt, and or play a season without getting hurt.
Was your attempt to see how bad your offensive line was? Then okay, congratulations, you
mission accomplished.
You showed them exactly what people are going to be eating up in the regular season. So
because the Bengals' offensive line is garbage and their defense is awful, albeit preseason. I saw a stat yesterday that said that the worst defense in the NFL last year was the Panthers, and they averaged, I think it was, or offensive teams averaged 2.9 points a drive on them. So if you accumulate all the offensive drives teams had, they averaged almost 3 points a drive. That's how teams did against the Panthers last year. That was the worst in football. So far in the preseason, the worst is the Cincinnati Bengals, and it is almost 4 points a drive. They are historically bad. But again, it's the preseason, but they are that bad. So
we knew going into the season with the Bengals that they're going to have to beat the teams by like 90 points to win because their defense isn't going to stop anybody. So, and their offense is good. Their offense will be good. They should be good.
For sure.
Money into it,
It's just a matter of, can Joe Burrow stay healthy? Can T. Higgins stay healthy? Because both of them have shown in the past their history is no, they can't. So Jamar Chase, best of luck. He is going to be the number 1 overall pick in most fantasy leagues, and rightfully so, because he is going to get a lot of action in Cincinnati.
Oh, yeah.
So interesting to see. Obviously, we'll do a full breakdown of the Browns-Bengals in a couple of weeks because we are going to be off next week, and then we'll come back the week after to start the regular season. So that works out beautifully for everybody. But while we were on the topic, we were talking earlier about Quinshon Judkins and Isaiah Bond, both of whom are ready to go. They're ready to roll. Isaiah Bond, from what I heard, we'll talk about him first. From everything I've heard, he basically was in a social media texting relationship with somebody that was super graphic and wanted him to lay the lumber. He did. After the fact, she then accused him of sexual assault because he was about to get drafted in the NFL. All of this broke about 2-3 weeks before the NFL draft. He went from being probably a 2nd or 3rd round pick to undrafted. She ruined his career because of a sexual assault accusation. Okay? Let the legal system do its thing. Months and months go by. Cleared of all charges, or not he didn't even get charged, I should say. But yeah,
no evidence to
they're not moving forward with anything. There's nothing to go after. Here's a guy who is undersized, very fast. And from what I heard, the Browns loved him. Had he not gotten in trouble, he was a target for the Browns to take in the 2nd or 3rd round. Then after this accusation stuff broke, I heard the Browns considered taking him on day 3. They were like, fuck it, we'll roll the dice. But then I think they kind of thought better of it. They decided not to touch him because they were like, well, we don't want to draft a kid, waste a draft pick on somebody that may never be able to play in the NFL. So we'll see what happens. He's a free man. He's able to sign with any team. Boom. Browns call and say, dude, come to us. We want you. And they gave him a 3-year deal with guaranteed money. To me, this is not just like hey, we're going to take a flyer on this kid. This dude is going to be a Cleveland Brown for at least the next 2 years.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens with him.
I'm wondering if that's too also playing into the Judkins no contract right now is part of that guarantee to what he's thinking he should get. You think that's part of the issue right now too? Or do you really think there's a number on the table yet?
I mean, I think the Browns should not give guaranteed money to Judkins only because I don't think this is a reoccurring thing. I hope that if he did anything, whatever, even if he didn't, I hope he still learned his lesson to be extra careful moving forward in his life. But with somebody coming in like this, I wouldn't guarantee him more than what you gave like Bond. I would give him an incentive-based contract. I would be like...
He gets 2nd round money for sure, but I wouldn't guarantee
that. No, I wouldn't guarantee his whole contract like a lot of guys held out for. I would give him a very incentive-based contract of you need to play a certain amount of games. Here's $5 million if you make a Pro Bowl, whatever. Throw some incentives in there to make it worth a lot. But I think, as we were saying earlier, I think neither guy should be suspended if basically they were completely... there's nothing's going to happen to them legally. How do you suspend a guy? And that's the other thing too that I found really interesting was everyone and their brother on social media, radio shows, whatever, are going, oh, that's the Browns going after these character issue guys. How is it? I look at it this way. Maybe, again, I'm looking at it through the lens of a Browns fan. Maybe I'm crazy. Tell me if I'm crazy. They didn't do anything technically. If they actually did these horrendous, heinous crimes, they would be in trouble. Joe Mixon is on video hitting a woman. Kareem Hunt is on video hitting a woman. They're both in the NFL. They're both never talked about. Kareem Hunt, people still make jokes about how, oh, he should be the kicker on a team, whatever. But that's about it. He has served his time. These two were accused. Yeah, it's after all these years, it's great. It was like when Shane Gillis did the Deshaun Watson joke at the ESPYs. It's like, oh man, that was such a good joke of a 4-year-old story. Like, I mean, come on, man. How long are we going to fucking recycle this?
You're not a Shane Gillis fan, I assume?
I do like Shane Gillis. So that was my one critique was that joke. Is like, if you're going to make a joke about massages and stuff like that, you should have used Justin Tucker, who was the current guy going through that, not the guy that it was 4 years ago. Like, that's old.
It's not as funny when it's a white dude, man. Come on.
I think it's even funnier, personally.
Especially a religious white dude like he is, supposedly.
Exactly. So you have these two guys, though, that are not going to be in any trouble legally, and now they might get suspended, but everyone in the brother is saying, the Browns are going after these guys with character issues. How is it a character issue if they were falsely accused? That's not a character issue. Judkins, from everything I've ever seen about the dude, never a bad word from people. He was a good teammate, hard worker, won a national championship, gets drafted the second round, gets arrested, and everyone's like, saw this coming. How? No, you didn't. Same thing with Isaiah Bond. Good kid, transferred from Alabama, went to Texas, dealt with some injuries last year for Texas at the end of the season, so he was kind of a non-factor, and then gets accused of sexual assault, ruins his career, basically, his draft career. He could have gotten drafted and, changed the history of his life. Instead, all good, and now he gets assigned to somebody, and people are like, these fucking character issue guys. And the number one thing that I made sure to call out on Friday of last week, because the Isaiah Bond news dropped Thursday night. So Friday on ESPN 850, of course, naturally, Rizzo is off on Fridays, mind you. In the off season for football, he only works Monday through Thursday. He'll be starting back up Fridays when the season starts. But all day Friday, Hammer and this other dude on the show, all they talked about was the Browns going after these character issue guys and, what are they doing, blah, blah, blah. Why would you take a guy who was accused of doing this kind of stuff? How can you employ him, blah, blah, blah. I'm shocked I didn't get blocked in the YouTube chat because I went hard, and I like the guy.
Tell me about this, yeah.
Yeah. I mentioned Tony Rizzo, and I said, here's a guy who was actually arrested, who was actually charged, who has a 911 call that's very easily to obtain of his wife saying, my husband just hit me. He's after me. I locked myself in the bathroom. He's drunk and violent. And he works for ESPN 850. Meanwhile, while he's off, his co-hosts are going, how do you hire a guy that's been accused of assaulting a woman and this and that? And I'm thinking, you guys got some fucking nerve to say that. These guys that were cleared, not even charged with anything. Here's a mugshot of your boss, basically, and here's a picture of him in court. Here's him getting his 30 days of jail time that it was actually taken away, but he did technically get 30 days of jail time, and his 2 years of probation. He got charged.
Did you post the mugshot?
I did on Reddit. They won't let you post it on the YouTube page. The Reddit page that I posted it on for the Really Big Show, people loved it. It got a ton of likes. It got 50 likes or something like that in that group. People loved it. But yeah, I just thought it was funny. You're going to spend your whole show bashing the Browns because they employed a guy who was accused of assaulting a woman. Meanwhile, the breadwinner of that station, hate him or love him, Tony Rizzo's the face of ESPN 850 because and that's just more so says more about the rest of the people on that show or on that station. But Tony Rizzo is the face of ESPN 850, and he was arrested for beating his ex-wife, and he was charged for beating his ex-wife. And they're like, they're going after all these guys with checkered pasts and troubled backgrounds.
Should not throw stones in a glass house, basically.
1,000%. So I'm excited, though, for the Browns. I do like this young group. If you look at this team on paper, this offseason, if you will, if you would have put a gun to my head last year and said, well, I guess that's not even a good analogy, but if you would have told me about a year ago, I don't think they'd have a reason to shoot me because they told me a roster, but if you would have told me a year ago that the Browns were going to come away with Mason Graham, Shedeur Sanders, Quinshon Judkins, Isaiah Bond, Dylan Gabriel, Harold Fannin, who personally I know he's not a household name, but I knew all about him because I played his Bowling Green in college football, the video game, so I was very aware of Harold Fannin. And and a 2026 first-round draft pick. If you would have told me we were coming away with all that from this draft class, I would have said there's no fucking way. There's absolutely zero chance that happens, and the Browns did it. And obviously they have to pan out, but on paper, that's a fucking haul. That's a huge offseason. And again, we may suck this year. We could be a 5-6 win team at most, but that future's looking pretty good with that kind of talent if those guys pan out. So I'm excited for the future. We have a preseason game on Saturday. It looks like Joe Flacco is going to get some playing time. It's going to be Flacco, Sanders, and Gabriel. Kenny Pickett will not play. But I can't wait. Nice preseason game taking on the who do they play? The Rams? Yeah, taking on the Rams on Saturday. Don't get hurt. Everyone, please just be healthy. That's the number one thing for preseason. Just please be healthy. We already lost Martin Emerson in a non-contact practice play. Just please be healthy on Saturday. That's all I ask. God, please.
Knock on wood. Get to the regular season, then get hurt.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, wait till week 1 when you can really crush my soul. But now I'm excited. I can't wait. I love football. You know me. So we'll have a good watching experience on Saturday. And then the real shindig starts in a couple of weeks. I can't wait. As we started off the show, we gave a moment of silence to the Cleveland Guardians. And I put on there yesterday when I'd sent this to George, or Monday night, whenever, I just said, Guardians update. Because I didn't know what we were going to be talking about. I needed to see what they did. Because they had just gotten swept by the Atlanta Braves when I typed that out. Let's see. It'll tell me. I typed this out on August 18th at 10:40 p.m. Monday night. Yeah, so the Guardians had just gotten swept. They were in the middle of a game against the Diamondbacks when I wrote that up, that they ended up losing. So they went 4 in a row, loss. And then they won yesterday, Tuesday. So I thought, okay, rubber match Wednesday, get that W. They call up a rookie. Forgot his name off the top of my head. I watched the game. I listened to it too. I can't remember his fucking name. He pitched a gem. 1 run, 6 innings, fucking lights out baseball today. Guardians are up 2-1. Bottom of the 8th, they bring in Cade Smith to get a 4-out save. He gets the first out, boom. 9th inning, gives up a home run. 2-2. Guardians go to extra innings, fail to score. I didn't actually watch it. I was feeding Teddy, so I was kind of listening to it on the TV in the other room, and I hear that they don't score. Go to the bottom of the 10th. Diamondbacks score 3-2. Guardians lose another series. Again, 5 out of 6 games they've now lost when they're trying to just stay afloat in the wild card. Yeah. I think obviously the division was never in reach. I know they kind of got close with a little bit of a hot streak they were on, but it's not obtainable. So the wild card, they were struggling to stay afloat there, and I think that these last 6 games pretty much put them at the bottom. As I said earlier, Kansas City has surpassed them in the standings now. So it's over for the Guardians. They did everything that they could. They played better than I thought they would. I didn't expect the Twins to be as bad as they are, so I thought the Guardians would actually be the 4th place team in the division. I thought it would go Detroit, Kansas City, Minnesota, Cleveland, Chicago. That was my standings projection. Looks like they might finish 3rd, so kudos to them. Better than I expected, but
I mean, they started out bad, not that good, and now they went down again. It was like just this kind of.
And for me, that's just the talent that you have. I think Tanner Bybee is very overrated. I don't think he's an ace. They're trying to make him our ace pitcher. I don't think Tanner Bybee is an ace. I think he's an okay pitcher, but I don't see him as an ace unless he makes some drastic changes in the offseason or something like that. He's a very, as the kids say, mid pitcher. Gavin Williams is up and down. Gavin Williams looked fucking great. Obviously, he almost had a no-hitter a couple weeks ago against the Mets. It went to the fucking 9th inning till Juan Soto hit a home run off of him, but he had a no-hitter going. And then his next outing, I think he gave up like 4 runs in the first inning. So he went from unhittable to he can't get a fucking out. And then his game from, I think he pitched yesterday, Monday maybe. He had a pretty decent outing, but the Guardians still lost. Slade Ciccone has been pretty good. He's been up and down. And then he pitched on Sunday, I think it was, Saturday, and he got fucking shelled by the Braves. He gave up like.
What was your thoughts on the Bieber trade?
It was necessary. I think this Guardians team and fans didn't want to admit it. This Guardians organization, they knew this team, maybe they had a chance at sneaking in the wild card, but they don't have a legitimate chance to win a championship. So you don't need Shane Bieber for that. For a dude who hadn't pitched at all, we got one of the top prospects in the Toronto Blue Jays organizations for a guy who, again, had no purpose on our team. Let him go to a good team that's going to make the playoffs. If he can do something with them, kudos. If not, whatever. He wasn't going to do anything with us. He was struggling to come back from his rehab, which understandable. He had Tommy John surgery, so I'm not knocking him for that. But just not somebody that was going to be an impactful player for our organization this year, so it made sense to get rid of him. Mm-hmm. Same with what's his name? We got rid of the relief pitcher. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I want to say, I know I'm wrong. I want to say Phil Maton, but we traded him years ago to the Astros, I think it was. But we traded somebody to the Tigers. Can't remember his name, but we traded a relief pitcher away because, again, not an impactful person for this organization. Who Let the Dogs Out? Baha Men, great song.
You heard that?
I heard the bark. Yeah.
Downstairs.
No, I don't care. It was funny.
Time to go outside again, so that they
got hyped up with all the Browns talk we just had. Paul Sewald, I think that's who the Guardians traded. It was Paul Sewald.
Yep.
Excuse me. They traded him to the Tigers. That's it. I knew it would come to me. So, I think the fans didn't want to admit it, but the organization understands this is not a World Series caliber team. So they made a couple of moves to get a couple pieces for the future. Didn't do anything crazy. They kept most of their core players. They didn't trade away anybody. They didn't trade for anybody big. And that's pretty much the gist of it. They're going to stay with the status quo. Now we have new young pitchers. We have a bunch of young players in the minor leagues. They're going to call these guys up. They're going to adjust as they need to. It's rinse and repeat for the Cleveland Guardians organization. That's just how they run things. I know, as I said it last week, I don't think you weren't with us, or 2 weeks ago. The last time we talked about the Guardians, Greg texted me separately. It was when I was in South Carolina, and he was going off. He was so mad at how we were talking about the Guardians, and he said we were so wrong about so many things, and this is why we shouldn't talk baseball without him, and blah, blah, blah. He was very get off my lawn, old man of, you young
episode, or was it?
No, you were with me. It was our last episode before I went on vacation. And we were talking about the Guardians, and we were talking about the way they try to manipulate service time in the big leagues and stuff like that. And he's like,
how they play that long game. Yeah.
He's like, you guys don't know anything about the playing or manipulate service time. He's like, you don't know anything about service time, and you guys don't know what you're talking about. He wasn't actually angry about it, but he was letting me know that.
I have Greg's voice in my head as he's saying this, though. I picture it. So.
Oh, I guarantee he was fired up. I mean, he takes baseball so seriously, which rightfully so. That's his thing. That's why he's Triple G. But yeah, he was all worked up. So last episode, I joked and I was like, Greg was so mean and angry in that text. He was a very evil boy. But I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, the Guardian season, in my opinion, is over. I've said it all along. I'd never had faith in this team to actually do anything. It was fun to watch them try to overachieve, but at this point, it's just, it's over.
I mean, it's one Guardians game this year, albeit it was a bender weekend for me, but I made it. It was during the 4th of July weekend where I think I started drinking on Thursday night. I didn't stop till
rightfully so.
That Sunday afternoon, and it was a rough weekend. So yeah.
I haven't been to a game all year, and personally I'm not interested. I like going to games and all, but I don't know. I can just watch from home. I don't care. I say it every year. I'm just irritated with the Dolans and how they do things and how they don't spend money. I'm not stupid. I'm not saying they should just piss money away, but a lot of times in the offseason, we will watch guys sign with other teams, Greg and I, and we'll text each other, and we're like, that's a guy the Guardians should have gone after. They could have afforded him. Look at Matthew Boyd. Matthew Boyd would have stayed in Cleveland. He was interested in staying in Cleveland. Guardians weren't interested in paying him. He is now on the Chicago Cubs, and he's having a career year. He's pitching like a fucking stud. Guardians weren't interested. They let him go to the Cubs, and he's having a really good season. So that's just what they do. They don't spend the money. They don't invest. They build from within, which is great. It's fun to watch these guys. But at the end of the day, as I've always said, they don't make themselves World Series contenders. They make themselves playoff contenders.
And it's not going to change until ownership changes. Right? We're stuck with this same mediocre mentality, and we're going to win enough to make people excited. You're going to win enough to make people go to the games and spend money at the games, right? So they get that flow of revenue, and that's it. You're not going to get anything more than that. You might make a playoff run where you're maybe make it to the second round of the playoffs, but our talent eventually, like it did with the year we got our ass beat by the Yankees, it's going to show. It's going to lack thereof. It's going to show lack thereof.
Yeah, baseball's a sport where, there have been a lot of instances where teams get hot at the right time, teams that really have no business being in the World Series, and they go, like a couple years ago, Arizona Diamondbacks against the Texas Rangers. Who the fuck saw that World Series coming? Nobody. Last year, it was the Dodgers and the Yankees, two of the highest payrolls in baseball. Wonder how they got there. Because they spend the money and they get a lot of talented players because of that money. Yes, you can spend money and you can come away short. You could be the San Diego Padres. San Diego Padres have been printing money to players and have been making trades that have fucked up their future, their farm system. They're getting rid of some of their best prospects for guys because they go for it every year. Kudos for that.
They have good years, but they're never going to get past the Dodgers. The Dodgers
great years. And they just can't fucking win in the playoffs, which is funny to me. I love watching that happen every year. But then you look at a team this year who has one of the lowest payrolls in baseball, the Milwaukee Brewers. They are the best team in baseball. They have 79 wins. They are the top seed in all of the sport. Sometimes you just get lucky. Now, speaking on the Milwaukee Brewers, do you personally think that, again, they're the best team in baseball right now? They went on like a fucking 15-game winning streak or something like that a couple weeks ago. Maybe not 15, but they went on a long win streak. Do you think they're going to win the World Series? I don't, because they're going to run into the Los Angeles Dodgers. They're going to run into the San Diego Padres and New York Mets, these teams with $300 million payrolls, and they're going to get snapped back into reality.
They're not built for the pressure of the playoff run. I think it's going to show, and the coaching. I mean, sorry, woof. I just heard Greg yell at me.
There's hitting coaches and pitching coaches, so you're right with coaching. There are coaches.
I just
first base coach.
It's going to show. It's going to show. The manager and the team is going to show why you're going through the playoffs. Like, certain game decisions and stuff like that. It's going to show. I mean, but yeah, I don't think they're going to get far. Maybe first round, like we did, to get out of the wild. I mean, they're not going to be the wild card. Maybe make it past a wild card team that they're probably going to play, right? But other than that, no, they won't make it any deeper than that, probably.
Yeah, I mean, crazier things have happened, but I just don't see it because it happens so few and far between. And speaking on the Guardians, they do have that minority owner, which, George, if you're available right now, if you could look up his name. I don't remember his name off the top of my head. The Guardians do have that minority owner that they have a deal with the Dolans that after a certain amount of years, I used to know all this off the top of my head. I don't remember it, but
is it he's Blitzer?
David Blitzer. That's it. David Blitzer should be getting more power over the team as the years go on. They have a deal in place that's like every couple of years he gets more percentages and he'll eventually, if I'm not mistaken, he'll become the majority owner. My concern with that, though, is yes, the Dolans are cheap, but the Dolans have put together a really, really good front office and organization and a culture, if you will, of how they run the team. Do I wish they would invest a little bit more? Yes. Do I want them to go crazy and like triple the payroll? No. Blitzer, what makes me nervous is, does he come in and say, okay, when he gets the majority ownership, is he going to go, all right, I don't like this organization, this front office. I want to be a spending team. I want new people in the front office. And then we start getting these fucking idiots that come in and make all these bad trades, trade away our talent. We don't win anything. We essentially become a smaller version of the San Diego Padres, where you're just, whatever team you want to talk about that dumps away talent, tries to win, which is great, but just always finds a way to fuck things up.
Can we get a middle of the two? Like spend some money, but be
ideally
is that possible. I mean,
ideally, I mean that would be like
too much. I don't understand.
That would be like the 2016 or 2017 version of the Guardians, where they said, "Fuck it, we're going for it," and they got Edwin Encarnacion. They spent a little bit of money, which at the time I think Encarnacion got a 3-year, $60 million contract.
It paid off, and we made the World Series that year.
That was the next year. We got him in 17, but they went for it. And again, that's not even a big contract. When you look at guys like Juan Soto, these guys are signing like hundreds of millions of dollars. We signed a dude for like $60 million, and Guardians fans were like, "Holy shit, they're spending money on a guy."
Could you imagine if we signed somebody to like an Ohtani contract or like a Judge contract?
Literally never. Literally no chance would that ever happen. But, it is what it is. At the end of the day, that's the Guardians are going to Guardian. And I love them, but I am realistic as fuck.
Football season's over just in time for football season to start. So
yeah, now I don't really have any reason to care about the Guardians, just in time for football and just in time for the Cavs. Because the Cavaliers' schedule has been released. The Cavaliers have a lot of
so many
primetime games.
The Cavs made. I'm so excited about all the changes they made coming into the season.
Lonzo Ball, baby, that's a big change.
I know, that's a big one, yeah.
Losing Ty Jerome, I mean, I think that could be impactful moving forward. We're going to see a lot more of these young kids getting a lot of playing time, so it's going to be interesting to see what the Cavs do. I'm looking forward to the season. I can't wait. They've got a lot of nationally televised games. They got a Christmas game this year. They are one of the featured games on Martin.
Back to Christmas games, baby. Yes.
Yeah. It is the Cavs and Knicks on Christmas, I think it is. And then they have we're hosting, I think, or maybe we're in Oklahoma City. I don't remember. We're playing Oklahoma City. I don't remember if it's home or away, but on Martin Luther King Day, Cavs and Thunder. So that'll be cool. They got a few others, nationally televised games. Some of their preseason games even are going to be broadcast on ESPN. They just announced. And rivalry week of NBA. I don't know if you saw this one.
Rivalry week?
Rivalry week. They are facing the Charlotte Hornets, which I didn't know that was a rivalry, but apparently
now because of the brothers. Is that what it is?
I have no idea. I never knew there was any type of bad blood between them, which I mean, they're brothers. They don't hate each other or anything like that. But the fact that the NBA made that our rivalry game is what the fuck? How about the Warriors? I will forever hate the Golden State Warriors. For me, that's a rivalry.
It's an old man Warriors team now. They're a shell of what they really are. I mean, let's be honest.
I'd still rather beat them than the fucking Hornets. Who cares about the Hornets?
That or go old school, make it the Bulls, Cavs and the Bulls. Or
I'd have been okay with that too. I hated when they had Joakim Noah. I hated the fucking Bulls with a fiery passion. So there are so many other teams where I've never once gave a shit about the Hornets, and that's our rivalry. So according to the NBA, I guess Adam Silver knows best. So pretty excited for that. Cavs season will be starting up in about 2 months. I think the season starts in October.
Where the fuck is this year gone?
It has flown, dude. I swear to God, I still I can envision New Year's Eve. Tara and I stayed home. We just watched TV in our den. We were just drinking, watching TV, and it feels like yesterday. And I blinked. My daughter became 1 year old, and now it is August. That's my life in a flash.
Yeah, I don't know where this year's gone. Where the year's going, we got stuff that we know is coming up in the fall for us. We're we still got a ways away, and we're fuck, we only got 2 months or a month to get stuff in line for it. It's where the hell is this year going?
I was so excited for the weather to get nice, and then it got nice, and then it got super fucking hot, and it's just been hot forever, it feels like. And then next thing you know, it's going to be winter. It's insane, but they always say the older you get, the faster it goes. So I guess that's very true because that's how it feels this year, especially. I mean, I'm not kidding, dude. I fucking blinked. And it is August.
Sucks. It really sucks.
It really does. But with the changing of the weather, that can only mean one thing, and that is football season is around the corner. And with that, as always, Kyle and I are going to give our projections on who we think are going to win the awards next year, A, and B, who we think is going to represent the AFC and the NFC in the Super Bowl, and who is going to win said Super Bowl. So, with that out of the way, let's get right into it. Let's get into, I got to look it up here. Let me get a list. I knew I had it somewhere, but I lost the link. There we go. All right. So we are going to, no, I don't want this page. My bad. I clicked the wrong one. God damn it. Why is my page missing? Here we go.
Finally, George does something.
It went away. Well, I asked George to look up David Blitzer, and he didn't do it. So I'm glad to see he can find the soundboard, but he can't Google Guardians minority owner faster than Kyle.
Fingers, what can I say?
That's what I heard.
Hey-o.
From Dave. So we're going to start off with Coach of the Year. I always start from the bottom. And here we go. All right. So, Coach of the Year, of course, usually goes out to a team that overachieves. They don't typically give it to the teams that actually are expected to be good. Otherwise, Andy Reid would get it every year. One of the Harbaughs would get it every year, something like that. So, usually goes... I was in the bathroom for that segment. Perfect timing for that crappy team. Oh, how dare you talk about the Guardians that way? They're not crappy. For being one of the lowest payrolls to be even in contention, not bad. I think George, is George a Guardians fan? I don't know. He's all over the place. I really don't know what team he likes in baseball.
Yeah, I have no idea.
With that said, though, I have my pick for Coach of the Year. I don't know if you have yours.
I do. Yeah, I got my. That's what I was writing down earlier when we were starting to jump on. I was writing stuff down. I got my picks. They're all lined up, so I can go first.
Sure.
As a team, I'm going to ride high this year. I was high on them last year, but give me Dan Quinn for Coach of the Year.
Dan Quinn, okay. I am going to go a little bit of the outside because, again, I feel like they're expected to be really good. I don't know if they'll be able to put up the same type of year that they had last year. That was kind of a very great, basically the best of the best you could be. I'm going to go with a team because, again, a lot of times they give it to a team that overachieves. I am going to go with Mike.
Hold on. Oh. I got a backup. I was going to say it, but I'll let you say yours and see if mine was correct. I had two of them I picked, but I went with Dan Quinn, but go ahead.
I'm going Mike Vrabel.
That's who was my backup, was Vrabel.
Yeah. I think Mike Vrabel is – I think New England has some talent, and I think they just didn't have a very good coach last year in a situation. And I think Mike Vrabel is going to go in there, and he's going to bring a tough culture. And
he already is. He's starting to fight with players in the
yeah, he's fighting players himself. I think he was a great coach with Tennessee. When he was here with the Browns last year, he was a guy that if, God forbid, the Browns would have gotten rid of Kevin Stefanski in the offseason, I would have prayed that they brought Mike Vrabel in to be the head coach, but they decided to keep Stefanski. So Vrabel went and took the job with the New England Patriots, and I love that for him. I'm very excited for him, and I wish him all the best, except for any time he faces the Browns. But I do think next year he will have a really good season. Ben Johnson, I think, will be Coach of the Year. Bears shock the world. I personally, I'm not a believer in Caleb Williams, so he's the Vegas favorite. Ben Johnson is, but usually that doesn't. Whoever the favorites are in the preseason rarely pan out. So I am not going with Ben Johnson. I went with the man underneath him.
I think the Bears are fucking trash. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't think they're. I don't like the Bears personally. I think that they're an okay team. I really don't like Caleb Williams. I think Caleb Williams makes a lot of really dumb mistakes. Obviously, he's in year 2. Maybe he's a little smarter. I just personally wasn't a fan of Caleb Williams at USC, and that is carried on to the NFL. So, fuck Ben Johnson and fuck Caleb Williams.
The Bears.
Next up, we have Comeback Player of the Year. This one's tough.
I thought we'd have the same answer here. Want me to go first again?
I'm going Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, I didn't even think about him. I'm going Aiden Hutchinson, but that's a good one. McCaffrey's a good one.
I'm going McCaffrey just because I feel like it's going to, my issue, I don't know how true it is, but there were people that were showing clips of Aiden Hutchinson from a month or so ago, and it looked like he was kind of still favoring his leg a little bit, and that break was fucking nasty. That makes me wonder if he's still going to be as explosive off the ball as he used to be. McCaffrey, if he can stay healthy, he's one of the best, obviously the best offensive players in football. So I'm going to go with Christian McCaffrey. I think he has a bounce back season if he can stay healthy. I mean, there's no reason they don't make him the number one option in all aspects of San Francisco. He was at a point where he was scoring almost every single week for them. So I'm going Christian McCaffrey. Of course, George does. He's a Niners fan, so he really likes my pick there. But yeah, I'm going Christian McCaffrey there. So I like your pick of Aiden Hutchinson, but I personally am really wondering how well he's going to come back from that injury, and is it something that might take a month or two for him to get back to 100% or even close to it? Because getting back out on the field, live game reps, very different than practice and training camp and stuff like that. So I'm curious to see how he comes back. But I don't know. That break, I'll never forget seeing his fucking leg.
No, that was gruesome.
To think that was less than a year ago, and now he's just
that if
back out there.
Even 80% of what he's capable of, I think he gets that comeback player of the year, because that was gruesome.
Yeah, it'll be tough though. He'd really have to put up some good numbers to get that over an offensive player. He'd have to be near defensive player of the year candidate type numbers also to even get a mention for comeback player. So we'll see. I mean, I hope he does. He seems like a really nice dude. Yeah. And I like the Lions. They're the Browns of the NFC essentially. So I root for them, but I got to see it. Next up, we have Defensive Rookie of the Year. I'm sorry, did I skip offensive?
I think it goes defense and offensive if you're looking at a standard list.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, I clicked the wrong thing. Okay, here we go. So I don't know if you saw the clip, but did you see the clip of Abdul Carter getting fucking blown up by that Jets player?
No, I didn't see that.
He got a chip block from a dude, and it sent him on his ass, and the clip went viral. And they asked Abdul Carter about it. They're like, "Did you just happen to see that clip that's getting a lot of run of you getting blown up?" And he laughed and he said, "Yeah," he said, "Good for the Jets. It's probably going to be their only highlight all season." It was one of the funniest fucking lines I ever heard. It was so good.
Well, I mean, that's the precursor. That's my pick for defensive rookie of the year. Is that
same with me. I'm going with him. I think he was the best defensive player in this draft. Mason Graham, I think, is going to be a good player, but he's not. He's a defensive tackle. He's not in a position
where he's not going to get those highlights that. I
need him to be a game disruptor. He's not going to get the stats. He's not going to fill up the box sheet, which I think Abdul Carter will. So I'm going with Abdul Carter. And personally, I think anybody that puts money on Travis Hunter should just donate that money to St. Jude's for Defensive Player of the Year, in my opinion. Next up, we have Offensive Player of the Year. This one is, I'm going with I'm sure everybody and their fucking brother is going to take this dude, but, I'm sorry. I meant to say, I'm sure everybody and their brother is going to take Ashton Jeanty. He's the smart, safe pick. He's probably who I would take.
That's not who I took.
I'm going with a little bit of a wild card just because of some situations and great value on the price. Give me Emeka Egbuka.
Ooh. I didn't take that one either, but I like that one too. Egbuka is a good pick. I would Travis Hunter because I really think, and I know he's gonna play more defense, I think, but I think he's gonna find a niche in that offense. I think he's gonna be a surprise this year on offense. So I would Travis Hunter.
I never loved Hunter in college. I thought he was a good wide receiver, not great.
I've always come out of nowhere. The odds on him, if you just put some money on him and he wins, he makes.
I will happily die on that hill, but I just don't think Travis Hunter is good. I don't like him. I'm rooting really against the obviously everyone should be if you're a Browns fan. I'm rooting against the Jaguars, so I can't in good faith take Travis Hunter. But Ashton Jeanty, I think, will get the most touches, the most touchdowns. Running backs are going to be way more consistent than wide receivers for the most part. But the reason I took Egbuka is because he is going to be getting a lot more playing time now that I think is, Jalen McMillan, who got hurt in Tampa. He just got hurt in a preseason game against Pittsburgh. He's going to miss some time. So
Hall of Fame quarterback throwing to him. So, I mean, he's probably going to have a great year.
Oh, who did they trade for? I must have missed it. Baker Mayfield will be a Hall of Famer one day because they give the janitors, you get a gold jacket too if you're working there. So I think TreVeyon Henderson for Offensive Rookie of the Year. That's a good pick. I just don't know how well again, I like the Patriots to be a better, improved team, but I don't know if TreVeyon Henderson's going to get the yardage and touchdowns over Jeanty. I don't see that. I think Pete Carroll is old school smash mouth football.
Pete Carroll's going to ride the hell out of Gentry.
He is going to run him to the ground.
Has he changed his stance in the backfield? I haven't watched any camp videos for him.
I haven't either. I saw him run a dude over. I didn't actually watch the play. I don't know.
Oh, actually, I did see him run a dude over. He set that dude back a little bit. It's like a little mini Derrick Henry setting the dude back.
He trucked the dude, and then after the game was like, "Oh, I'm officially here. That's my welcome to the NFL moment." And then everyone else was kind of like, it's the preseason. You probably shouldn't run head first and shoulder first into guys in the preseason to get an extra yard, but you do you. But yeah, so Emeka Egbuka, I think, is going to be shooting up because Marquise Godwin is coming off of a ACL tear. McMillan just got hurt, and then you have Mike Evans. So Mike Evans gets the distraction over here. Bucky Irving's a pretty good running back. Emeka Egbuka is going to be the next target for Baker Mayfield, and if he gives him the ball and they throw it around a lot, he's my sleeper pick. And you can get him the best odds you could find for him, plus 2,000 on DraftKings. So pretty good to put a little pizza money on that one if you want. Next up, we have NFL Defensive Player of the Year. I know I'm a Browns fan. I think you know who I'm taking. I'm not trying to be biased here, but I am going with Myles Garrett. Micah Parsons is in a holdout. He hates Dallas. I don't think he's going to. I don't think he's going to be able to put up the numbers that he used to. I think he's too disgruntled right now. Maybe he gets that new contract, but a lot of times guys get new contracts and they kind of take their foot off the gas a little bit because they don't have much to play for. He's playing for his second contract. Myles Garrett's already gotten like 4 contracts, so he shows that he'll play the same no matter what. Not everybody does that. Surprisingly, which I don't know why, Aiden Hutchinson is the favorite early from Vegas. But again, is he healthy? Like I need to see the dude play a fucking snap of football, and you got him at the number 1 guy. So I think there's a lot of value in Myles Garrett. Cooper DeJean highlight. No, it's hard enough to go to a corner. Like Patrick Surtain had a good season last year, but he probably shouldn't have even been Defensive Player of the Year. It's hard for secondary players to get Defensive Player of the Year, and I don't think Cooper DeJean's going to do that. Pete failed to let Marshawn run for a touchdown in the Super Bowl. So, fun fact about that, George, I forgot who I was listening to, but there was a podcast or an interview recently about a player who talked about that and said that the call that the Seahawks had on that play was a really good call, because you throw the ball there, because if it's incomplete, you just run the ball in the next play. The Patriots were just so detailed. They had that play down to a science. That's how Butler was able to intercept that ball. All other NFL coaches said Pete Carroll had the right call, because you would just run the ball in the next play. But the Patriots were just so fucking good, and obviously they cheated. Most people know that that's how they win their Super Bowls. They had that play. They knew that play like the back of their hand, so they picked it off because they knew exactly what was coming. It's good to study tape, but
it's I get you. Defensive Player of the Year for me, I'm going to go. I mean, Garrett's my pick, but Carter I think could be an interesting pick. Not Abdul, Carter from Philly. Is it Jan?
Jalen Carter, the defensive tackle. Yeah.
But I'm going to go Garrett. I think Garrett is going to have more chances and more opportunities this year with that line, like you said before. So he got paid. He should be a happy Browns person now. I mean, he walked out Morgan Wallen last weekend. He's representing Cleveland pretty well. So
he picks and chooses when he likes guys that say the N-word, apparently. Good for him.
It's okay. It happens.
He didn't swing a helmet on one, and the other one, or he
walked him out in the stadium.
What a collection. Kid Rock one night and Myles Garrett the other.
The Kid Rock one, I think, was just by chance because Kid Rock was in Put in Bay the night before.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, so they're probably like, I'm close. I'll walk you out. It's cool. No one else wants to do it. I did like the fact that he wore a Jim Thome, though, the night one, which is kind of cool. The Jim Thome jersey.
Yeah, I guess he just basically, I would never go to that even if he paid me, but I guess he wore like a Jim Brown jersey, wore a Jim Thome jersey. Like, I'm sure he does.
He wore a LeBron.
The high school jersey.
High school jersey on, yeah.
Yeah, so, hey, good for him. Offensive Player of the Year, I know my pick. I hate to say it, but I'm going with Jamar Chase. I think Jamar Chase is going to be used a ton by the Bengals, so I am going with Jamar Chase.
Yeah, I agree with you. Jamar Chase is my pick too, which is an easy transition to who I had picked for MVP too. But we'll get to that in a second.
You're going with Joey B for MVP.
Absolutely.
Wow. Okay.
The dude's going to be throwing his fucking mind out this year. Give him the MVP.
I can't pick him because I think he is going to Justin Jefferson resurrection with McCarthy. McCarthy's not a good quarterback. I think the Vikings are going to suck. JJ McCarthy sucks, dude. I'm not touching Justin Jefferson or anybody on the Vikings with a 10-foot pole. And Justin Jefferson's hurt already. He's struggling to stay healthy in training camp. And I think JJ McCarthy fucking sucks. That was one of the worst draft picks that I can remember personally.
I think he's rated like 67 in Madden, if I'm not mistaken.
McCarthy?
Yeah.
That's too high. I am going to go with, I hate to do it, it is in division.
73.
Okay, still way too high. I'm going to go with, I hate to do it.
Don't do Patrick Mahomes. Do not do Patrick
Mahomes. No, I'm not. I think I'm going to go with Joe Burrow. I don't think they give it to Josh Allen again. I don't think the Bills kind of make me nervous. And one team that, like, obviously the smart pick would be to go with Lamar Jackson. But one thing I'm kind of interested in doing is taking the under for the Ravens wins, because statistically speaking, the Browns were the most injured team in football last year. They had the most players on injured reserve at any given time. And the Ravens were the least injured team in football. So a lot of people say your luck runs out eventually. There's a, what are the odds that happens 2 years in a row? So a lot of people are saying they have a regressive year. So I don't want to touch Lamar Jackson. So I'm with you. I will take Joe Burrow only because I think him and Jamar Chase and, T. Higgins for that matter, everyone in that offense, I think they're going to be slinging it because their defense is so bad. They're going to have to score 35, 40 points a game to even have a chance. So the only way you do
I got the
scoring
first
touchdowns.
I got the first pick in my league this year, and because I was worst record last year, I go from champion to worst. Really,
That's how it goes. Worst to first.
I honestly am considering taking Burrow my first pick overall, or Chase, one of the two. I'm not sure.
I would take Chase personally. Yeah, I think Chase puts up better value. Like if I get the number one pick in my one league, I think I have the third overall pick, or maybe second. I'd have to double check the order. My other league, I have it's going to be randomized, so I don't know where I'm at. If I get one, I'm taking Ja'Marr Chase, no questions asked. So those are all awards predictions. I'm going Joe Burrow for MVP. I'm going for Ja'Marr Chase, Offensive Player of the Year. I'm going Myles Garrett, Defensive Player of the Year. I am going with what the fuck? I forgot who I said on defense for the Defensive Rookie of the Year. Did I say Abdul Carter? No, I didn't. I don't remember who the fuck I said off the top of my head. Whatever. Did we pick Defensive Rookie of the Year? Maybe we skipped that one.
We did. I took Abdul Carter.
You did. I don't remember who the fuck I took.
Are we getting that old that we don't remember what we just talked about 5 minutes ago?
No, it's because I don't pay attention when I talk a lot of times, and after I'm done talking, like
no, you know what? Actually, I don't think you did pick because I think you might have agreed with me, but I took Abdul Carter because we had talked about how he got blown up, and I picked him, and then you moved on to something else. Maybe you didn't pick. Who did you pick?
You're right. Maybe I said Abdul Carter also because I just don't like this class. Yeah, I don't know. For shits and giggles, give me Mike Green. I guess I'll change it in case I didn't pick anybody.
Oh, you know what? Because you know what happened was you said Abdul Carter. You're like, you know what? And Graham might be another potential pick too, but he won't get as much touches.
Oh yes, I got sidetracked. Okay, so no, give me Mike Green of the Baltimore Ravens, formerly of Marshall. I was a big fan of him coming out of college. He also comes with some red flags. It's funny that if the Browns draft a guy with red flags or sign a guy with red flags, they're a joke organization, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, the Ravens had Justin Tucker, they had murdering Ray Lewis, and they draft Mike Williams or Mike Green, who has domestic violence or whatever accusations as well. And nobody says a word. Funny how that works. But anyway, I digress. I do think he's a really good football player and could be a game changer for that Ravens defense. So give me Mike Green as my Defensive Rookie of the Year. So I'm going him. Offensive Rookie of the Year, I'm going with Emeka Egbuka. And Comeback Player of the Year, I am going with Christian McCaffrey. Coach of the Year, Mike Vrabel. Those are my predictions for the season. Now, really quickly, because we're running short of time, I think last year we did a whole, maybe we'll do it next week, we did a whole, like, predict your playoff teams. We won't do that today because we're short of time. We will only do AFC and NFC representatives in the Super Bowl. And actually, you know what? Fuck that. We'll do that next episode because we will do it. We'll pick our whole playoff roster.
I wrote down who I had. I had a bracket built out of who I had in the playoffs. So we'll do that.
Okay, I did not do the whole playoffs. I only did the Super Bowl. But now that I'm thinking about it, I think it'd be better if we'll do our playoff picks. We'll do from the bottom. We'll do wild card to the 1 seed on AFC and NFC, and then we'll do our Super Bowl prediction. We'll do that next episode because we have to preview the season. So we'll do that. And of course, in 2 weeks comes the picks. We will have our picks segment where Kyle and I go head-to-head to see who can get the most right, straight-up pick'ems, and I love doing that. Look forward to it. We will remember.
I'm taking back my belt this year. So.
We will remember this time, starting week 1, that we have the extra bonus point by picking a spread.
Yep.
Last year, we forgot till like week 8, and then we re-implemented it, but this year we'll do it from the beginning. One thing I wanted to talk about really quick, George, sorry, this is a off-the-cuff one here really quick. I wanted to talk about 2 things. First one is, did you happen to see Jake Paul has signed up for a new fight?
No.
Today.
No, I don't. I don't think I had my notification turned on for Jake Paul updates.
I only saw it because I was on ESPN.com. I forgot the guy's name, but he is an actual boxer. Is it Tank Davis? Yeah. Gervonta Tank Davis, he's taking on Gervonta Tank Davis. So now when you look at that, you go, oh shit, Gervonta Davis is a really good boxer. That's going to be good. But then you have to know that the classic Paul family twist is in that fight. Because guess what? Jake Paul weighs in at about 199, 200 pounds. Gervonta Davis boxes at 133. There is an 80 or a 70-pound weight difference between those two. Jake Paul, that's a lot, is a much bigger guy. So again, Jake Paul is refusing to have a regular boxing match against somebody that could actually give him a run for his money.
Here's the thing that sucks. Here's what's funny to me is that Jake Paul, and people who are boxers have called it out. He's got skill. He's got the boxing. He's good in the ring. He does the right stuff. But let's get him up against somebody who can see what
he won't fight an actual competition for himself.
His technique's there. He's got the strength. He's got the speed. He's got all this stuff that people are like, he could be a good boxer. But let's see what he actually measures up against and see what happens. He's got more than enough money. What do you have to keep chasing the money for? Just go have an actual fight. He's ranked now, right? Officially, that last fight put him at the rank, right? So let's see what you can do and just shut the fuck up, right?
Unfortunately, the problem with the Paul brothers is that they're more concerned about the entertainment aspect and the celebrity aspect, if you will.
Listen, I'm a Logan Paul fan because what that kid does in the ring. And
I think he's great, truthfully.
I cannot believe it. Somebody walk off the street like he did and do what he does in the ring.
He was born to be in WWE. Honest to God,
he's a natural entertainer. Like he's on the mic.
I hate that family. I hate those brothers. But him as a wrestler, I'm like, God damn, is he good? Like he is just a fucking natural.
I hate the fact that he's so good because I want to hate him, but he's
every time he has a match, he does something where you're like, oh fuck, that was really cool. But you're
going off the back of the ropes, backflip.
I'll never forget that, dude. It's so cool.
So anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. And then same thing though with his brother. You have Jake Paul, who's an entertainer, and he's boxing. But yeah, he keeps fighting these guys that are like he's making sure he's giving himself the best chance to win. Because if he gets his ass kicked, he's going to not be a draw next time. Because people are going to be like, oh, that's the guy that just gets beat up every time. So I get why he's doing it, but for me personally, it makes me not want to watch it. Like the Paul Tyson fight, I remember I got really fucked up for that. So Tara took me out. We went to a bar. I had a bunch of drinks. We came home. I think I ate a big edible or something like that. Next thing I know, Netflix was freezing. I couldn't get it to work. All of a sudden, I'm like, the room's starting to spin a little bit. And I was like, fuck it. I went to bed. I woke up at like 4 a.m. and I checked my phone and I went, oh, Jake Paul beat Tyson. I didn't watch it at all. Because I knew that fight was going to fucking suck. I had no faith in Mike Tyson, even though I would have loved for him to punch Jake Paul's head off. I knew he had no chance.
He definitely held back. I think
there was something, again, I think when he signs these contracts with some guys, the guys that could actually fuck him up, I have to think there was some sort of backdoor deal of you can't injure, you can't beat him and you can't injure him, so take it easy. And these other guys are like, okay.
Yeah, $2 million to on top of what you're already going to make to just not hurt him. Okay, cool. That's money, right?
Yeah, it's fucked up, but that's how they do it. And then, so that just got announced today. So that's kind of exciting. I think it'll be on Netflix. At least you don't have to pay anything for it, which is fine. And then another thing I want to talk about, George, which I also apologize. This just occurred to me, and we don't have a graphic for it, but it's not hard because it's the Browns. What are your thoughts on the Baltimore Ravens doing their 30-year Raven anniversary with the Cleveland Browns, against the Cleveland Browns while Cleveland's in Baltimore? They're celebrating their 30th year as an organization against the Browns in like week 2 or whatever. That is the most disrespectful piece of shit thing. 100%. Salt in the wounds for Cleveland fans.
I hope someone brings a stuffed Art Modell thing into the stadium and like beats the shit out of it while we're in there. And they show it on TV. It won't happen, but still.
No, that's
the dumbest thing ever.
It's so fucked up. They're doing it specifically because it's the Browns. But what's really funny to me is that, like, I guarantee most of the players probably have no idea about that rivalry or the history because half of the guys are like 20 years old now. And just as a fan, to me, again, that's just like the biggest trashy fucking move that they're doing that against us.
They're going to have a Mayflower Moving Company trailer outside the stadium that day.
They better. And while they're picking up all the shit, I hope there's Browns fans taking a piss on Art Modell's grave. I loved when I saw the video, the guy pissing on his grave. I hope more people do that. I hope it gets a lot of traction on social media. But yeah, I thought that was the most trashy, fucking classless thing you can do as an organization is what the Baltimore Ravens are doing. But again, I expect nothing less from them.
Any game you could pick, you'd pick that one.
It's a rivalry. I hate the Ravens. I will forever hate the Ravens. The fact that they did that is, it's shitty, but at the end of the day, I look at it too, and I'm like, okay, they're adding a little fuel to this rivalry. We beat them last year with Jameis Winston at quarterback. We've had some good games against them.
That game was so much fun.
We should have lost that game by a lot, but luckily the the ball was a little greasy that day and nobody could intercept it because otherwise we were fucked. But yeah, we beat the Ravens last year. That's a fun rivalry. We beat them with Deshaun Watson a couple years ago before that. So we've split a couple games over the last few years. I feel like that's a fun little rivalry. And again, we'll always hate the Ravens because they did take our team. And I just think doing that on that day is fucked up. But I guess it makes sense. Who else are you going to do it against? The team you stole. So kudos to them. I think that'll be fun. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. I didn't know if you saw that or noticed it yet, but that was
nope. I didn't know. I didn't know about that one. I didn't know about either of them. So breaking news. Yep. But yeah, that's fucked up. So.
Yep. Yeah. These were little nuggets that just broke over the last couple of days that I wanted to. I forgot to put in the thing that I wanted to talk about. With that being said, though, I don't know what happened to George. He just gave us a blank screen. I don't know if that was on purpose.
Getting ready to drop the tip in here.
Yeah, but I'd like to, if you can, unbuckle your pants and let's get a tip.
Oh,
I knew he was going to do the Taylor Swift thing. He loves that.
My wife will love that. Wow. Wow.
So this week's Just the Tip is flat asses all over the world, like Taylor Swift. Beautiful woman, but
cover it up, George. I want to take a picture of it.
Kyle's tip is up first.
Yeah, that's true. I'll go first.
Unfortunately, yeah, you are, whether you like it or not, according to George.
Stick. That's fine. Stick. So, new show. It's on Apple TV. For those of you who don't have Apple TV and you have other ways of watching shows like this, Justin, then you can probably find us anywhere.
I have Apple TV.
Oh, do you? Okay, cool. So, good show. I want to say it's like a, what's the soccer show? Oh my God, I have a brain fart.
Ted Lasso.
It's like a golf Ted Lasso almost. I mean, I don't think it's as good as Ted Lasso, but it's still a good show, right? So basically, Owen Wilson plays a character who's an ex-pro. Was like one of the best golfers of all time in the PGA. Had a giant falling out. You'll learn throughout the show why, like what happened. Kind of had a blow up, fell off the radar, became like miserable, a drunk, all this other stuff, right? And ends up finding a kid who is a hell of a golfer, like a protege, basically, and brings him under his wing and helps coach him. And that's kind of the show, right? They already renewed for season 2, but it's a really good show. I like golf. If you like golf, you'll like this show. A lot of funny characters in it. Mark Maron? Is that comedian? It's in there.
Yeah, Mark Maron.
Yeah, he's funny in the show. Obviously, Owen Wilson's funny in the show. So a lot of likable characters. I liked it. I watched it during this week while I was at work. Just put it on the TV next to me while I'm working from home. But it's 30-minute episodes. I think there's 8 of them. But it's good. You'd like it. I think it's a cute show to watch.
It's definitely on my list. I forgot to start it, but it's definitely one that as soon as it came out, I saw the trailer and I was like, oh, I'll watch that for sure. I like Owen Wilson. I like golf, so that'll be fun. So I'm definitely going to check that out for sure. And yeah, I have Apple TV. I think I did like a 3-month. They had a deal going on, so I signed up for it not that long ago. That's how I watched the Studio. The new season of Platonic just came out. I like that show. I'm a big Seth Rogen fan. So pretty much anything he's in, I'm a fan of. But my tip for this week is another show that you can find on streaming. King of the Hill. I was a huge King of the Hill fan when it was out, I think from like 1999 to like 2010 or something like that. It had a long run on Fox, and then it was off the air for a long time. Mike Judge made Silicon Valley. He brought back Beavis and Butthead. He'd made some movies mixed in here and there. I like Mike Judge. I think he does good stuff. And then they announced King of the Hill was getting a reboot on Hulu, and I haven't finished it yet because I'm kind of purposely trying to prolong it because who knows? I think they'll get a second season. It broke a bunch of records for the most streamed cartoon in history or something like that. It broke the record of X-Men 97 or whatever it was. So
97 was good. I mean, you probably wouldn't like it, but I mean that probably.
I didn't watch it yet. I liked old school X-Men, so I definitely it's on my list.
So good.
So yeah, King of the Hill broke the record that X-Men 97 had for the most streamed cartoon. Like original series or whatever. So it is back.
Or does it still have the humor, or would just added some today's humor?
So it's up to date. It's current. So basically the backstory is Hank and Peggy moved to Saudi Arabia because Hank had to go run a propane company over there. And while they were over there, they were like basically treated like royalty. So he didn't like experience anything in the real world. Now he retired. They moved back to Texas. Bobby's there. Bobby's like 21. He's a co-owner of like a restaurant. He's a chef. And Hank and Peggy are now like back in the neighborhood. Their house stayed. So they're back meeting with everybody. It's just funny. It takes place now. Like they're making jokes about Uber and like woke and stuff like that. It's really good. I like it. The only thing is you'll notice some of the people like there's a big thing online. I don't know how big if you're a big King of the Hill fan, I don't know how much you watched it. So the guy that did the voice for Dale, he died while they were making the reboot. So he was the voice for Dale in about 6 episodes of this series, and then he died. So they had to get a different guy to do it for the rest of the series. So what's funny is the amount of people I saw online complaining about how weird Dale's voice sounds in the first few episodes. They're like, wow, this guy who does his voice sucks. They should have stuck with the original guy if he didn't die, blah, blah. And then everyone goes, well, the original guy did do the voice of Dale for the first 6 episodes. And people were like, oh, well, it sounded horrible. And everyone's like, yeah, it was 20 years ago he did the voice. And obviously he was going through some health shit if he fucking died while he was making this. So the Dale voice is enough to where, like, I'm not going to lie, like, it's fine. It doesn't stop me from watching it, but it was enough to where I'm like, man, it does kind of sound weird every time you hear it. But other than that, it's great. It's all the original people for the most part. And it's still got the same, dry but like fun humor of King of the Hill.
I haven't started watching it. It's on my list to watch. There's so
It's
many
great.
shows that I've like missed over the last like 2 months that have come out, or movies that come out that I haven't gotten around to watching yet.
I'm just purposely, like I said, I don't want to finish it too fast because they only did 1 season. I think there's like 10 episodes or whatever. So it's like when I'm done with it, I'm done with it. So I was like, I'll watch like one every other week or something like that. I'll kind of take my time. So that's what I've been doing. I have like, I don't know, 4 or 5 episodes left of it. But so far, it's really good. It's it's just good nostalgia. It's fun to see it back. I'm happy. It was one of my favorite shows when it was on TV, so I'm just glad it's back. It's something cool to watch. So if you're a fan of King of the Hill, check it out on Hulu.
Just added it to my list. I have a running notes list on my phone of things I need to get around to.
Yeah, and it's same thing like you were talking about with Stick. Unless depending on which Hulu you have, if you have ads, they're like 25-minute episodes. If you don't have ads, they're maybe like 22-minute episodes, and there's only like 8 of them or 10. So you can get through it pretty quick. It's not that bad. But all right, everybody, that's going to do it for us this week. We have one more Browns preseason game to get through. Fantasy football drafts galore. We've got hopefully everybody just stays healthy. That's the number one thing. And then cut down day for the Browns. That'll be fun to talk about in the next episode about who they kept, who they got rid of, who they traded for. We're going to talk a little bit about our predictions for the season, who we think is going to win divisions, wild card spots, Super Bowl, etc. We'll do all that stuff. And of course, picks. And we can also talk a little bit of college football because the college football season will be kicking off that week as well. So actually, college football will have already started. I apologize. So we'll be able to break down week 1 of college football. So plenty to talk about coming up, and I look forward to it all. I appreciate you guys watching and checking us out, and we will be back in 2 weeks. And when we come back in 2 weeks, that starts our regular season where we will be on every Wednesday for the entire football season, barring anything like the 1 week where I'll be in Florida at Disney. Obviously, we won't have an episode that week. So we'll figure it all out, and we will talk to you guys again in 2 weeks. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We will talk to you then. Cleveland, this was for you. It's outro time, Joe. George.
Joe.